Welcome, my friends. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, guys, we're back with an open faction war. So you guys are going to be seeing this as a new weekly series here on the channel. So, of course, we do have the invitational faction wars, which do have all 16 factions represented. You have a player assigned to every single one. But the open faction war is, as the name would infer, an open tournament. So basically, anyone can join. Today, we had 92 players sign up. And what you guys are going to be seeing today is going to be the top 8. So you're going to be seeing the top 8 of who's gotten to the finals. So a little bit different in the sense that not every single faction is going to be seen on the stream. Some factions were eliminated before they did get to the top 8, so you won't be seeing them. But nonetheless, it's a cool format, lets more people get involved. And also, it's a really good way for me to see new players who I can then invite to the invitationals and things like that. Because, want it to be open and inclusive and all that sort of good stuff. So pretty fun event. First match here is going to be Jimmy, EC Jimmy against Evenstar. So Greenskins performing very well today. I believe we have 1 or 2 Greenskins in the top 8. Couple Vampire Counts, Wood Elves. Skaven have been all eliminated. So have Beastmen, Dwarves, a couple other factions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets here. So we're going to switch on over to the web browser. So you can see if you look at the top here, we have Evenstar versus Jimmy. So Vampire Counts versus Greenskins. Then we have Zolaski versus Greenskins here. So Wood Elves against Greenskins. Zolaski was actually the one who eliminated me from the tournament today. We had a really close game. It was my Empire versus his Wood Elves. And man, oh man, it was razor thin. But he was able to edge me out. So his Wood Elves and Greenskins. We have Hadries against... 3 Greenskins in the final. It would appear to be maybe 2 Wood Elves, I think. And then we do also have Reginald Puggington here on the bottom with Vampire Counts. And then Vampire Coast with Anticity, who, of course, is... no small prey. So, in summary, we got Vampire Coast, Vampire Counts, Wood Elves, Greenskins, Greenskins, Wood Elves, Greenskins, and Vampire Counts. So, pretty straightforward top. You can see here we had a big tournament today. We had a lot of players. Of course, it is Faction War style, so all of these are best of 1, which is quite a bit of fun. I played High Elves in the first round, was able to defeat them, and then I had a really close round against Zolaski and just narrowly lost. Falcon also played Empire. He got pretty far. He got to the round of 16. That's pretty much it. You can see all the factions. Every single faction was in the tournament. There wasn't a faction that wasn't represented in one way, shape, or form. But in the end, that is going to be the tail of the tape. So let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up and see who's going to be winning our first open faction war of 2021. Start when ready. This is going to be Jimmy against Evenstar. Best of 1. So all these games are best of 1 until we get to the grand finals, which will be best of 3. So the stream might be a little bit short. But nonetheless, at the end of the stream, I can show you guys my Empire replays or something like that. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, a lot of undead, a lot of Vampire Counts, actually. There were, I think, 3 Vampire Coast players. They all got eliminated except Anticity. Skaven got eliminated across the board, which was, Hadries was playing Greenskins today. So, you know, the resident Skaven champion is switching it up. Yeah, the Empire did pretty good. We had a good run. Falcon and I got to the round pretty far there, but we did fall. And, man, the game was so close. I'm pretty sure I could have gotten to the top 8 if I had gotten past that Wood Elf. It's a shame. It was really close. Zolaski played super well, and you're going to be seeing him here in the top 8. Contende said you had an awesome game against Valkanos. Yeah, so Contende in chat, one of our resident Beastmen players. Pretty epic for sure. I don't know why is this lobby bugged or something? Let's check. It's not my internet this time. We may need to remake. Save your armies. Save armies and rehost. Cool. All right, so they're going to remake that real quick, and then we'll get this party started. You can see we have all the players here, so we'll let them get that going. V4LZU, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard, brother. Much appreciated. And yeah, we're going to get this one going, and we should be fine in just a moment. There's Even versus Jimmy. Got the password in there. Bretonia had an okay run. I think we had Prussian Prince playing Bretonia, and he got pretty far for us. He got to the round of 16, I think, out of 92 players, which is a good run. It's a pretty fun event. It's really cool. I like opening up Faction War to the community because you get to see a lot of players who you wouldn't expect to get to the top 8, and then also, yeah, it's just great. It's more inclusive. It's fun. Everybody's like streaming it in Discord, and it's just a fun time. All right, so here we are. It's going to be Jimmy versus Evenstar. Hopefully the game will load this time. It's Greenskins against Vampires. I would say maybe the slightest edge against For the vampire counts, just the very slightest edge. I think greenskins can certainly win it in the hands of a good greenskin player. Evenstar is also a very, he was playing in the Everchosen, so certainly he has some credentials. And yeah, we'll see how he does here. There were 3 Dark Elf players. I think they all died in the first round, more or less. I don't know if you see, the thing is, though, you also have to recognize the skill of the players playing these factions. Like a lot of really high-level players move away from Dark Elves. So, you might not have the strongest players playing Dark Elves, but I don't know. I'll have to take a look. I didn't really look at that, so. All right. Should be quite a bit of fun. This is game 1 between Jimmy and Evenstar in our top 8. So we're going to have 4 rounds in the round of 8, 2 rounds there. So 6 games in a row. And then from there, we'll have a best of 3. So today's stream will probably be between 8 and 9 games. And then after that, maybe we'll end the stream with something fun, or it'll just be a relatively short stream. So we'll go from there. Short and sweet. High Elves did okay. Yeah, the High Elves got a decent run. They had a couple players make it to the mid. High Elves are actually a good faction. So here's the thing. If we had some really strong High Elf players, what could have happened is High Elves are very good against undead. They beat vampire counts. They trade well with Tomb Kings. They're okay against Coast. So that would have been really strong. And on top of that, High Elves they don't have too many terrible matchups. They probably don't want to face greenskins in my experience, but it is what it is. Protocol, thanks for becoming a member. How you doing? No sound cues today? What do you want? You want a Palpatine laugh? There you go. I got one for you. I got one. Protocol, thank you. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. Your bet is on the greenskins. Let us know in chat. Who are you rooting for in this open faction war tournament? Is it going to be EC Jimmy with his greenskins or Evenstar of Clan VM coming in with the dreaded vampire counts? So if we take a look at the greenskin army here, he does have black orcs. Looks like Jimmy's going to be coming in with 2 of those bad boys. A very solid anchor against undead. Immune to psychology, good AP. Getting run over by big scary monsters isn't going to make these guys run. We got Grom the Paunch, which has become very meta in this matchup. Grom the Paunch is incredibly tough to snipe, so he makes a pretty solid choice. On top of that, Spider Riders, Goblins, we got the 8-peak Loonies, and we do also have Bob here. So Bob is going to be giving immune to psychology to this whole blob, which is very strong. And a River Troll Hag, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, Giant River Troll Spirit Leech. Always pretty useful. There is a bracket. I just got done showing the bracket in FFA to end it. Maybe we will. We'll see. So this is going to become a new weekly series on the channel. I might even do it twice a week, depending on how much people want to do it, but at least once a week. And then, of course, we'll have the big structured faction wars after that. What I might start doing is using these as a qualifier. So basically, the open faction wars, whoever gets the furthest with their respective faction gets a chance to play them in the main faction war, the structured 16-man faction war. This one, maybe not today, but for the next one, I'll probably do another one next week, and then whoever maybe does the best with their respective factions from there will have a chance to play in the main faction war. So I think that's going to be the new format going forward, just to give everyone an opportunity to qualify and things like that. So we will see. And yes, Hadries is playing greenskins, and for Evenstar here, Evenstar up in the sky has the Strigoi Ghoul King, the Macklemore Lord, and for the rest of his army, he's going to be having zombies and Graveguard with great weapons. I think, yeah, pretty good tech against Black Orcs for sure. He's got some Blood Knights hiding in the trees. Looks like in total double Blood Knight with the Necromancer with the Raised Dead. It's a pretty strong combo. You go Strigoi Lord, and he can summon 2 units of ghouls. And then on top of that, you get all your zombie summons with the Forbidden Rod. So you can drop a lot of summons, and it can be very, very strong for sure. So Evenstar moving up very slowly here. You can see his troops moving out of the trees, and the Black Coach is also going to be moving out as well. So basically, it's double Black Coach, double Blood Knight, and that's it. So he's going to start Spirit Leeching the Black Orc Big Boss. Not a bad idea. Black Orc Big Boss does have a big HP pool, and yeah, it looks like he resisted most of those Spirit Leeches, because there's a chance to resist the damage. So honestly, Jimmy definitely came out a little bit ahead there for the Winds of Magic. And there's a Death Shriek attack coming in from the Goose. The Goose going to be dropping some shots here on the Black Orc Big Boss, trying to snipe out that ITP early. Certainly not a bad idea. And the Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers are just going to poke. And the reason why Jimmy brings the Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers is because what he can do is he can attack. He can move in, he could shoot, and basically Evenstar has to come to him, right? Because Jimmy is obeying the attacking rules. So in order to obey them as well, Evenstar needs to move forward his main army and fight. So pretty cool stuff for sure. James says, Turin, you should have a sub-faction qualifier. Yeah, like a tournament of only sub-factions. That would actually be, that's not a bad idea. That could be really fun. And like the overall winner gets the sub-faction slot. James, I really like that idea. It gives me another excuse to do a sub-faction tournament. I like that, man. You're going to get credit for that idea because we will do that. That sounds very, very fun for sure. Is there game sound? No game sound? Okay, that's weird. What is it? Alt X or something? Hang on, let me get my headphones on. We got some time while they march towards one another, so. I have game sound. Oh, hold on. There we go. I turned it off during the trailer. All right. Good catch, guys. That's what teamwork's all about. Headphones can go back off once again. Hawkin, thank you for the donation. Love your streams, dude. Keep it going. Please give us a Gelt speech after this game. You got it, man. 100%. If only the Sons of Sigmar could have done it. The dreaded mute, indeed. So another attack coming in from Evenstar, trying to snipe the Black Orc Big Boss. So it looks like there's going to be a Spirit Leech going down, plus the Strigoi Lord's going to be getting a Breath Attack, but you want to move behind the Giant, maybe? But yeah, he took some damage. So both Breath Attacks are gone now, and as are a couple Spirit Leeches, so there's not going to be as many summons. Evenstar moving very slowly. The zombies and, you know, the main core of his army just kind of waddling towards the Greenskins here. Players saying ready, ready. All is business. There's a couple ways to play this matchup. One way is obviously something like this, like a blob with a bunch of, hard boys. You got the Black Orcs here who are ITP, and probably sounds like freaking insane clown posse. But nonetheless, Strigoi Ghoul King going to be jumping in. This could be interesting. We could actually run into a vampire count mirror match in the grand finals. It's certainly possible. I think we have 2 or 3 vampires here in the top 8. So, oh my god, that would be just absurd. Yeah, vampires are moving just very, very slowly. I mean, they got zombies, so their pace is going to be quite slow. And the Blood Knight's going to be hammering in and getting a nice charge here against the goblins. Those poor little goblins getting crumped. But then again, you know, Blood Knights, if they take a couple attacks from the Giant, those goblin sacrifices will certainly be worth it. Giants have such slow attack animations, and it looks like they kill a couple of goblins on the way out. No, it actually loses 3 Blood Knight models. Not insignificant. 3 Blood Knight models probably worth the amount of health that those goblins have lost there. So another Spirit Leech coming down on the Black Orc Big Boss. Looks like he resists most of it, and his leadership's still pretty good. That's really nice for Jimmy, for sure. The fact that, you know, the Lord is, not cowering and preparing to run. And Evenstar has used a ton of Winds of Magic in this fight, so what he's probably going to do here is just send in a couple zombies one at a time. And just, you know, this is how you often want to play vampire counts. Just like trickle in and just wear down your opponent with your really annoying cycle charging and characters and things like that. In tabletop, you know, the vampire lords were quite strong apparently as well. Yeah, Satsuma, I would agree with you. I'm not a huge fan of the green skin. I prefer to get some Savage Orc Air Boys, get a little bit of poke. Granted, the giant blob can work, but here's going to be another Spirit Leech, and it looks like the Black Orc Big Boss is going to be paying the Troll Toll here as it gets Spirit Leeched again, and also Breath Attacked again by that the goose up in the sky. So we'll see if he holds. He's shaken. He's still giving that ITP. And now the Black Coaches are starting to move in. And yeah, if he can get a good Smoke Bomb on the Black Coach here, if Jimmy could pop it and then, you know, maybe hit it with a Giant or something, that could be very, very strong. So here comes the Strigoi Ghoul King, going to be going after the Black Orc Big Boss, and he is dead! Oh my god, Macklemore got in there deep, dude. That is some nasty, nasty shit, and, you know, the Troll Toll has been paid. Now is there going to be any follow-up? Maybe a Mither coming down on the Strigoi Ghoul King? He is a little bit trapped up by the Lunch Lady here, and you can see Grom the Paunch is trying to move through the formation, and the Black Coach also a little bit trapped in here. If Jimmy wants to have a chance to win this, he's going to have to get some good entrapments here, and you can see now the Strigoi Ghoul King is being attacked by the Giant River Troll Hag, as well as Grom the Paunch, and is taking some damage. Looks like the Wa is active as well. Certainly going to be very helpful. Looks like both Giants... Ooh, one Black Coach is in some serious trouble here. Killing the Black Coach and getting damage on the Strigoi Ghoul King is very, very strong. So Evenstar's Black Coach is still very trapped. It looks like the Hag is coming, abandoning the Strigoi Ghoul King, which is a smart play, and going after the Black Coach and trying to finish off that single entity. It has gotten an invocation of the heck out. Unfortunately, there is no Mither. And now both Giants have moved in, and both Giants are going to start clobbering on the Strigoi Ghoul King. Pretty good trade there for the Greenskins, but Blood Knights are hammering in now. The Black Orcs are holding well. Of course, being poisoned by the ghouls isn't going to help them, but yeah, so far so good. Not a bad trade for the Greenskins. We're able to get some invocations out and do some good trading there. But certainly losing Bob is quite painful. That's one of the reasons why you often see Bob on foot instead of on pig, is because when he's on his pig, what happens with Bob is he's a little bit of an easier target for the Strigoi Ghoul King's breath attacks, whereas if he's on foot, it doesn't tend to do as much damage, but to each their own. Black Orcs on the other side getting a little bit isolated. This is what tends to happen if you go with a Greenskin box. Yeah, and you don't have like the presence of Air Boys and a little bit more width in your formation. Spirit Leech going down on Macklemore. Looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble. I mean, if Evenstar leaves the Lord here for too long and lets the Giant and the River Troll Hag beat on him, that could be potentially a game throw here, but you have the brave goblins, the AP Gloonies fighting here in the back. Strigoi Ghoul King is at about 3,400 HP. Both Giants have a good concave on him. So it looks like he's going to be pulling back at this point. Grom the Paunch popping the Lucky Banner, and Wa going down as well, which will give immune psychology to the whole Greenskin army, but doesn't really matter. Goblins are going to break. Goblins are goblins, and they do goblin things, and they break. Balance of power, a little bit vampire favored. Certainly not point of no return. Strigoi Ghoul King up in the sky, probably just preparing another charge, but the two Giants and Grom the Paunch are going to make a nice little hold here, but without the Black Orcs buffering them, if the Black Orcs break off, that could be a big problem. Both Black Coaches moving in as well. Blood Knights are down to 29 models. We have a couple Goblins coming back in the distance. Could move those guys in, but man, oh man, do the Vampires have a lot of chaff. And the Graveguard with Great Weapons are going to be more than capable of cutting through these very beleaguered Black Orcs who are heavily surrounded. Now the Giants, though they are, good in here, in theory, are going to be, probably having a bit of a problem. Somebody in chat saying Jimmy is new to tournaments. Jimmy likes Bob, though? What? I have no idea what you're talking about. He likes Bob, the Black Orc Big Boss. Yeah, Jimmy has played a really good round of games today. Certainly a very tough opponent to run into here with Evenstar, but it's been a good fight so far, but I think it's more or less over now, I would wager, since the Giant River Troll Hag is going to be getting escorted off the map by those luxury limos. And Grom the Paunch still doing his thing, going after the Necromancer. Certainly not bad, but there's so many spears and just chaff, and the Giants aren't going to have a good time with all that. And plus, Blood Knights can surround them now. Yeah, the Necromancer's getting run over as he curses in the night and starts stroking that Forbidden Rod. You can see it's brought him some comfort, that's for sure. Grom the Punch really, really strong in this matchup. He's so tough to snipe. Like, even if the Macklemore Lord sits on him for like a minute. And the reason why I call these Strigoi Lord Macklemore is because he looks like he's wearing a giant fur coat. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry, that's the Strigoi Vampire Lord. This is the Ghoul King. He's not wearing the coat, so my apologies, guys. I got that a little bit wrong. So Giants are wearing down the chaff, and Grom the Paunch still rolling through him relatively okay. But one of the Giants is getting a little bit danger low. You can see that the Strigoi Ghoul King, or Strigoi whatever the hell it is. Yeah, it's actually the Ghoul King. That's pretty cool. So it's not the Strigoi Vampire Lord, which has Ghoul King of Ashura on. It's the actual, the old school one, which is pretty cool. The one that came in Warhammer 1. Big blow coming in there from the Giant. A couple nice isolations by Jimmy. Maybe if Jimmy could have gotten the Black Coach earlier, or maybe gotten a better surround on the Strigoi Ghoul King, maybe. Hard to say. Bob getting killed early definitely hurt. That's an expensive piece. Bob on a pig with all his gear costs like 1,500 gold, so to lose him before the fighting really starts certainly is very, very painful for sure. And that's why sometimes if you have the double giant box and you don't have archers to punish like flyover like that, they can just do that at whim there. Yeah, classy Troll Hag getting escorted off the battlefield. And there you have it. Evenstar will be advancing up, so we'll change on over to the bracket here once we take a look. I know, who brings the Ghoul King? It's been a while. It's like a Warhammer 1 battle. I know, that really felt like it. 3,300 value on the Strigoi Lord here. Pretty nasty. Blood Knights 900 and 1,100. Black Coaches 900 and 1,200 respectively. Pretty good stuff for sure. Got a couple little ghouls here doing their thing. Black Orcs did fine. Giants, not bad. Didn't quite pay for themselves. Obviously when you're on the losing side of things. But this build in theory isn't bad for sure. But the tech of bringing the Spirit Leech really, really ruined the Black Orc Big Boss's day. Like, if Bob had been there, it could have been a little bit of a different fight. I still think Evenstar's army would have won, but it could have been a little bit different. So let's go on over to the brackets. So go to the web browser, and we will update the top side. So it's going to be Evenstar advancing on, if challenge feels like loading. So let's refresh that. A little bit of a clunky website, but certainly very excellent for running tournaments. So Evenstar will win, and Evenstar will be facing the winner of Zolaski and or the Viking. Very cool. So next, we're going to go ahead and cast that game as we load back in here. So let's do it to it and get this party started, man. Thanks again for joining today, guys. Vampire counts, I wouldn't say they're like S tier because they have some really hard counters, but they're definitely very competitive. All right. Very good. We have a big donation during the game. My apologies for missing it. We have from IO Site Dev, very appreciate your streams. Hey, thank you for the $50 donation during that battle. My apologies for missing it. I was caught up in the heat of commentary. But Site Dev, thank you so much for that 50, man. And we're going to keep going for you. We got you covered. We got you covered indeed. So it's going to be Zolaski versus the Viking. Greenskins versus Wood Elves. This has been a matchup that's been pretty common in tournaments. Let's see who's on the left side. So it's going to be Zolaski, who did defeat me today. Zolaski had a really, really excellent game against me. And then the Viking. All right, all right, all right. Let's update the scorecards and get this party started. All right, map is Outskirts. Good luck, have fun. Give him the map. And we can get this going. And we'll be good to go. Load into the lobby here. And get the Condom Wolf up, blocking everything, which is great. And then we're all set. How is the Viking not an Orska player? Oh, you'd have to ask him, man. You'd have to ask him. He was a Viking before an Orska. That's true. I think in Warhammer 1, his name was already Viking Cat. So, pretty sure he's been a Viking before it was even a thing. You liked Cobra Kai. I'm glad the recommendation helped. Yeah, those were the days. Warhammer 1 was an interesting experience for sure. It was like, I mean, I think there's obviously a lot more people involved in competitive play now, so I think it's a little bit more dense competition now, but Warhammer 1 certainly had its magic. The Haggard Spirit Leech spam. Oh yes, that was always fun. Hiding your lords in trees. Are you going to get that new Death Guard Lord? Yes, I will, Matthew Smith. I'll get him, and I'll also get the terrain piece and the new codex. I do not stream on Twitch, Danielle. No, I just stream here on YouTube. This is our big family right here, our big YouTube family. What are the top 5 factions in my opinion? Well, definitely Skaven, Wood Elves, Greenskins. Skaven, Wood Elves, Greenskins would be like in my top 3 probably in terms of power. From there, I'd have to really like think about it. I mean, I think Vampire Coast is very strong, but they're certainly not what they used to be. Very, very strong. I mean, I think you could arguably put Vampire Coast up there. I don't know, though. I haven't been seeing Vampire Coast do very well in tournaments lately. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. All right. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Let's take off the condom wolf and go into this game nice and good like. Here we go. No, I don't even have a Twitch channel. I mean, I have one to watch people on, but I don't stream or do anything on there. I just like YouTube, man. YouTube's been my home. No heal cap, oh my god, and freaking healing potions on Gorbles. There was a ton of like imbalanced shit in Warhammer 1, that's for sure. Not to say that there isn't stuff here that's imbalanced, but I think the game is in a much better place now than it was in Warhammer 1. Those were some gnarly times. Yeah. So counts have a fair amount of counters, but the thing is, like, so counts really struggle against Dark Elves and High Elves. I think Wood Elves can give them some trouble too. But yeah, those ones are tricky for them, but there wasn't that many High Elf players or Dark Elf players. So kind of the way like the meta shifts, right? And Dwarves actually can do okay against Vampire Counts too, but it's more of an even matchup. But High Elves and Dark Elves are probably 2 of the better counters against Vampire Counts, and there weren't very many of them today, so the Vampire Counts really were able to run rampant on the bracket. Not to say that they can't be beaten by other factions, but generally those are their biggest natural predators, so... I know. Well, there was an Empire player. I played Empire. Had a decent little run, but alas, the fates did not smile on Sigmar today. Yeah, Summon's not disappearing. Holy shit, yeah. There was some really haggard stuff in Warhammer 1. Not to mention Norska patch Dwellers Below. Oh my god, that was so horrible, Hero of Rome. Yeah. Alright, guys, and here we are. Let's go ahead and do it to it. For the army here of Zolaski, he's got Sisters of Twilight, which is an excellent choice against Greenskins. They can sit up in the sky pretty safely and just poke and stroke. Double Waywatcher, and his battle line's going to be Dryads mixed with War Dancers, which I like. Basically, Biggin spam is kind of the way to go, or it's very common here. So you focus the Biggins a little bit with your archers, and then if you tatter them a tiny bit, War Dancers can win the fight. Head-to-head, it's a little bit rough, but if you soften them up a little bit, it can go well. On top of that, we got the Wild Hunters of Kurnus in the trees, and Glade Riders all over the map. And that's pretty much it. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Little Raven, I actually played Zolaski. Zolaski was the one who eliminated me with his Wood Elves. So we had a razor close game. I'll show you guys after the stream. It was really close. I was ahead on the Bounce of Power by like 60% for almost the whole game. But then at the end, his Waywatchers were able to get a really clutch snipe on my Lord and a couple other things, and he was able to win. It was a really good game. So for Viking Cat, very standard. Spider Riders, Spider Rider Archers are like probably the best unit on the Greenskin roster. Really good, annoying poison missile poke, and on top of that, they're pretty good at diving and tying things up. Goblins backed up by Orc Biggins. We got Grom the Paunch. We also have a Hag and a little Goblin Big Boss and Spider Riders. This is a super meta Greenskin build. Very, very standard and very, very strong. Peyton Bowers. Hey, Turin, what could you say is the counters to Beastmen? Pretty much all the undead factions are counters to Beastmen. Beastmen are pretty good against living factions. They can trade well with like Skaven, for example. Beastmen, and all that kind of stuff. Pretty good against all the human factions, but Beastmen really struggle against undead. So like Tomb Kings, Vampire Counts are really strong against Beastmen, and also Vampire Coast can do well. Although I would say Vampire Coast is probably, of the 3 undead, the best matchup for the Beastmen. So that's just my experience, my friends. That is my experience. You also have to take into account, yes, not a lot of Empire Bretonnian players survived, but there was only 3 Empire players, whereas there was like 9 or 10 Wood Elf players. So statistically speaking, of course, there's going to be probably less. So, Sisters of Twilight getting pounded pretty bad. A little bit of a misplay here from Zolaski overextending. He does get the Sisters mithered, and now all the little Haggard archers are dropping some big shots, and he's going to be trying to retreat with those Sisters, giving a move order back, while he does send in the Glade Riders of Spears to battle the Spider Riders, which is actually an even trade, which isn't good for the Wood Elves, considering that the little Spider Riders actually cost quite a bit less, if I'm not mistaken. So just charging in, getting a little bit of hammering here. Sisters do get an Earthblood flying overhead, trying to help defeat those riders there, but the main Wood Elf battle line hasn't really fought yet. Weight Watchers haven't really been able to shoot anything of extreme value. The couple volleys I have seen so far have gone into the Forest Goblin Spider Riders and appear to have done okay. We'll see how that unfolds. And now the Weight Watcher is going to be ripping more shots into the Biggins. That is exactly what they want to be shooting. Biggins are certainly a very, very good choice. They're pretty armored. Not pretty armored, but relatively. But the Weight Watchers, of course, don't care. They have a ton of AP, so... Here comes another volley, working on those Orc Biggins. Zolaski, of course, a very, very good kiting player. He's able to pull back. And Professor Pone, where are your High Elves at? You should have played them today, man. We needed you, Pone. You were the chosen one. So now the frontline fight comes. Way Watchers, or War Dancers, and Dryads going to be clashing with Goblins. Of course, Goblins will get massacred by Dryads pretty bad. Biggins will crush Dryads in head-to-head combat pretty badly. But again, War Dancers can help tip the scale there in that particular fight. Now the Wood Elves have really committed to the frontline fight, and the Greenskins are going to be getting a Waaagh here relatively soon. I would imagine Grom the Paunch is going to be making his way to the front line as well. Like I said, Dryad's holding pretty well, you know, fighting against these little goblins here, and the War Dancers are kind of just clipping on the edge of the goblin formation. But, you know, good thing here for the Woodies is the fact that they still have their Way Watchers alive, and the Way Watchers are ripping some big shots downtown, and here they go. Glade Rider charge into the back of Biggin, certainly a very good play. Those Dryads were certainly hurting a little bit, but the supporting fire from the Way Watchers plus the rear charge from the Glade Riders, enough to probably collapse this flank and actually give Zolaski a winning position, because he's won most of these infantry fights here, whereas on the other side it's a little bit dicier. Grom the Paunch is going to be moving in on his chariot, starting to run over some Dryads, and you know, the Biggins here in sustained combat with a little bit of support should be quite nasty. Dryads are breaking here, and these War Dancers have used the Shadows Coil, which is kind of cool, putting them up to 62 melee defense. I actually really like that. That's like a cool tech piece right there. Yeah. Serious stuff. Anyways, your Greenskin flank completely collapsed. You can see here the Goblins and Biggins are broken, and the Wild Riders, or the Glade Riders, are moving through and starting to pressure onto the Spider Riders. Sisters of Twilight are actually diving in the back line. Way Watchers, of course, do not want to be going down to a bunch of Spider Riders. Pretty shameful way to go. Spider Riders are probably one of the more cost-effective cav units in the game. Those guys are quite strong indeed. And the Forest Goblin Spider Riders going to be taking it like champs. Spirit Leech going down on the Sisters here. And, yeah, very good play. Sisters do quite a bit of damage. Even on an Eagle, they still have the Eagle's attack animation, and on top of that, they do also have their bow attack. So if we take a big macro look at the battlefield, Greenskins have kind of restabilized in this area. A couple of the Rusty Airs are being attacked by Dryads, but the Spider Rider Archers seem to be doing pretty good work. There is a more or less healthy unit of Biggins here, too, as well as in the trees, which is kind of a problem. Those Biggins could come in and do a bunch of damage to this Dryad position. And Grom the Paunch is also going to be a pain. You have to save some ammo for him. If Zolaski doesn't have proper ammunition at the end game, there's like nothing in his army, and the Way Watchers and Sisters are the only things here that can really effectively kill Grom. So if Grom is able to weather the ammunition, I think there could actually be a big problem here for the Wood Elves. I mean, the Eagle, you know, that the Sisters ride is capable of dealing with that, but nonetheless, I still think that's a pretty tough gambit right there. Spellslinger of Life getting run over by Grom the Paunch, and here comes the dreaded Eagle! Descending from the heavens. The Eagle. Oh, this is a play right here. Grom the Paunch a little bit trapped up, but the Sisters might have gotten friendly fired by those Way Watchers. Holy shit, they just almost died. And look at that. Oh, a Spirit Leech coming down from the Viking. Beautiful play right there. What happened to them? Man, either Grom deleted them or the Way Watchers friendly fired. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Now Grom the Paunch is a little bit trapped up, though. He's being attacked by anti-large cavalry and the Wild Hunters. So we'll see if the Way Watchers can finish him off. If they can, that might give a shadow of hope here to the Wood Elf army, but ultimately, based on what I see here, it looks like the Greenskins have too much. And all of their Spider Rider cav, this is why they're so good. Suddenly, you know, you have Missile Cav, and now suddenly you have annoying Poison Pursuit Cavalry that can really lock down your pieces. And that looks like Zolaski is going to be eliminated by the Viking and his Greenskins, and it's going to be Greenskins against the Vampires on the top side of the bracket once again. So we'll get to see the angle at which the Viking approaches that matchup, and we'll move on there. Man, oh man, that was brutal. That was really brutal. Oh, and Grom the Paunch is broken, but the Viking is going to be advancing on. GG, well played to him. Oh, God, that hurt. The legendary Elven Archery? Dude, I actually think that happened. I really think that happened there. Okay, so Sisters 731, yeah, the Sisters really got wrecked. Honestly, I've been trying to figure out how to deal with Biggin spam, because when I played in that Chinese tournament recently, all the Chinese Greenskin players were bringing Stone Trolls, so my build with Glade Guard Starfire Shafts was working very effectively, but when I came back and started playing European and Western players, there was like Biggin spam with Spider Rider spam, and I started losing pretty consistently. I played a couple games against Ben the Barman, and he was able to really crush my Wood Elf build using a big and spam build. It was pretty much the exact same as this. I'm like a mirror copy. So yeah, I think you got to change it up. The Biggins are just really cost effective. It takes a lot of resources to kill them. And even if you don't, there's like a million annoying Spider Riders that just are everywhere applying poison. And it's just nasty, nasty stuff. Indeed. So let's go back to the web browser, update the bracket. It's going to be the Viking facing off against Evenstar. And of course, challenge is like, no, I'm not going to work until you refresh me. So you gotta do it. So let's do it to it. Very good. Well played to Zolaski and Viking. Viking will advance on to face Evenstar. And now we have Hadries on Greenskins versus Dactyr on Wood Elves. Oh my god, the same matchup. And then we have Vampire Counts with Puggington against Vampire Coast on the bottom side of the bracket. So that was pretty funny for sure. So next up, do you guys... Let's go back and check that real quick. Hold on. So I'm going to go here before we go into the next match. All right, 1 sec. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the sisters. Let's go check it out. That should be in my autosaves. Yeah, here we go. I'm just going to fast forward to that point I want to see. I'm proud to say this is basically my Greenskin Faction War build. Yeah, it's pretty strong. Bows are overrated. Oh my god. Way watch your back. I'm going to fast forward to that point, guys, and we're going to check that out. Because I want to see if that actually was friendly fire, if there was some other variable, or if Grom just went like Super Saiyan. Greenskins are a top tier faction. That's why you're seeing them. No Skaven, though. Skaven, of course, are probably one of the stronger factions that were eliminated here early today. Granted, we didn't have a lot of our usual top Skaven players. It's a Tuesday, so people aren't going to be... I'll probably do another one of these on Sunday. So if you guys want to play in a faction war, we're going to have one on Sunday. So I'm just going to fast forward through this game here. We're going to check this out. Yeah. I just had the urge last night. I was like, you know what? Let's have a faction war tomorrow. Let's freaking do it. And this is the product, man. All right. So we already, of course, saw all this business here. Got to get a little bit further on. Wait for the Greenskins to get into that frontline fight. Will there be replays from the 5-man tournament you're a part as Team Haggard? Yes. There will be replays for every single round once I get them all. So once I get a complete round, I will stream it like versus that team. So I'm just waiting for Lotus Moon to play Chief, and then I'll be doing the first round games. All right. Yeah, Viking, you played very well, man. Well played. That was a great game. Very solid stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and see here. I'm trying to see how the sisters got like one-shotted there at the end. It was definitely friendly fire. Yeah. Was that... If that was an intentional Viking, if that was an intentional bait Viking, that is some next level play, man. All right, so sisters pull back at this point. Grom the Paunch is cackling over here, being a big chungus. It's going to keep moving in. That build is so good against Wood Elves. I've yet to crack the code on it. I used to feel really confident in this matchup, but okay. So we're getting a little bit close. Yeah, it happens like over here. Yeah, she gets back up in the air. Grom the Paunch is back here. He's like harassing the caster. It's like right here. Okay, it's gonna happen. Sisters go in. All right, so let's do it. Oh yeah, that was the Way Watchers. Holy shit. Oh, she like went in front of Grom and got sniped. Oh, brutal. That sucks so bad. Oh god. All right, well that describes that. That's so funny. All right, well, Wood Elf players better figure out how to beat this, because that is no easy prey. That is for sure. All right, so next up, let's go ahead and go to the graphic here while we load into the next battle. Get this party started. So who do we have next? We have Dactyr versus Hadries. They must have a different password. I assume it's that. Wood Elves versus Greenskins is really hard. Yeah, I think it's hard, for sure. I used to think it was good, and then I was educated by Ben the Barman and a couple other folks over the past couple weeks. All right. So Hadries is on the left side here. Hadries not playing his Skaven today, still making it to the top 8. Very, very solid performance from him. Showing that he can play many factions. So Hadries versus Dactyr here. Let us go ahead and load in. Get the Condom Wolf up. Put that condom on. All right, so for the map, we will do the Galbaraz. No, we already did that, so Estalian Tomb. Estalian Tomb is fine. Cool. Let's do it to it. The Weight Watchers were brutal, dude. Yeah, Zolaski, dude. Oh, that must have hurt. How was your reaction when you saw that? You're just like, God, you're supposed to be the most elite archers in the world, and yeah. So big NACL, Biggins actually kind of get wrecked by Biggins wreck Treekin. It doesn't work. I tried it. Honestly, Turin, if you would have picked any other normal map, I would have simply kited for longer. Altdorf Outskirts is a pretty fair map, though. You honestly could have kited more if you wanted to. Like, you had room. Yeah, Altdorf Outskirts is like I've always felt it's a pretty balanced map. It has like terrain. It has terrain cover, but it's not so much that you can abuse it, in my opinion. It has nice little hills and slopes. It's conducive to both kiting play and aggressive play, I think. I think that Altdorf Outskirts is one of the best maps in the game. Yeah. Really? You don't think you can kite there? Yeah, I suppose you have more experience with it, so. All right, so it's going to be Dactyr versus Hadries. We have Greenskins against Wood Elves. This should be fun. Let's see what Hadries does differently compared to what we just saw from the Viking here. Yeah. Zyphos told me he'd never lost his Wood Elves to Greenskins post-patch, but I think that may have changed. Yeah, I think Greenskin players needed some time to adapt, and then they figured out a build that works, which is like that, and Biggins and Spider Riders, and the rest is history. I don't think Zyphos is playing today. I don't think he was. I can't remember. Maybe he was. He's playing in the Legendary Lords tournament, which is currently underway. He's playing Malekith in that, so you guys will get to see some Druki action there. Any tips for High Elves versus Wood Elves? Yes, Phoenix King. It's actually a pretty good matchup or decent matchup for High Elves. You bring 3 archers, 3 dragon princes, a Lariel with Tempest and Earthblood, a front battle line of spears, and that's more or less your core. Like, if they rush you with dryads, like, you hammer them with dragon princes. Like, if they kite you, you can pressure them with princes and move up with your archers and spears. Like, that's pretty strong. Satsuma saying Zyphos is fantastic with Wood Elves, but he couldn't beat the Biggin spam. Yeah, Biggin spam is very strong. Yeah, I think Satsuma, you beat him in the faction war we had. He was playing new Wood Elves and your Greenskins beat him. Yeah. So, if we take a look here at the Greenskin army, it's going to be Hadries. He's got a little bit different, actually. So, he's got Biggins, but he mixed in a Black Orc. He also has a Black Orc Big Boss, Wurzag, a Foot Zag. Holy shit, look at this from Hadries. Foot Zag and Bob. Wow. I mean, aside from that, he does have the same really, annoying Spider Riders. He's got Wolf Riders, actually. Wolf Rider Archers, okay. And then basic Spider Riders. So, a little bit more kind of focused elements here. And he's got 1 Stone Troll in the back. A little bit different in the build, but certainly very strong. Papa Palpatine, dude, don't feel any shame for losing to Hadries. He is a really good player, and on top of that, you were in a bad matchup. Warriors of Chaos have a really terrible matchup against Greenskins. Greenskins typically have, like, I would say a 70-30. I've seen Chaos win, but they have to outplay the Greenskins and just get better trades, and it's really Greenskin favored. So don't feel too bad, Palpatine. So if we take a look here at the dreaded Wood Elves, a little bit of a different build as well. Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards, which I kind of like. I think that's a cool tech piece against like Biggins and also countering the very lightly armored Skirvish Cav. On top of that, we got a Wood Elf Rohirrim core, Sisters of Thorn, Wild Riders, Glade Riders, a couple Dryads in the back with Big Papa Durthu. So we've got Durthu versus Footzag, and another piece to potentially help against the Biggins is a big scary tree in the front line, and a Branch Wraith with Earthblood. Cool build. Certainly like it. Both players kind of mixing it up a little bit. And we'll get this party started. The Dance of Gork and or possibly Mork. We almost had Tomb Kings make it to the top 8. Hadries defeated the last Tomb King player, Sidao. I would imagine it's a good game, as Sidao is a great player. But yeah, there was almost Tomb Kings. Empire got relatively close. Falcon and I were kind of in the running there, but we both got taken out by Zolaski, actually. And yeah, it was a good tournament today. Quite a bit of fun. Swift Shiver Shards are really strong. They hit like trucks. Good luck, have fun. So Wood Elves, actually, probably, I think the Vampire Count players are happy if the Wood Elves get eliminated. I think Wood Elves have a better matchup against Vampires than Greenskins do. Might be a little bit of lag here. Hard to tell. No, it's fine. Oh, I typed it twice. It was just, okay, it was delayed. Seems okay now. Was just a short spike. Yeah, seems like it was just like a little brief moment of lag there, so. Yeah, Footzag is a pretty interesting choice. Gotta watch out. He can certainly be sniped, but he does have effigy. And Bonewood Staff, of course, is probably one of the best items in the entire game. Skaven, we can go ahead and go back in the brackets and look at how Skaven did. Skaven must have done okay. I think a lot of Skaven players got eliminated by the Wood Elves and Vampires, because there was a ton of Vampire Count players today, and a ton of Skaven players. So I think that's probably what happened. Alright, so a little bit of Spider Rider skirmishing. Swift Shiver Shards are shivering all over the shards of these Wolf Riders right here. But Greenskin Skirmish Cav are just so cheap and so numerous. It's like, it just feels so cost ineffective to shoot them. It's just like, oh god, Anakin, I'm too weak. And then what's going to end up happening is that, you know, the big uns are just going to get there, right? Like, even if these little guys, like, take the shots. Although that was a really cost-effective volley. Those little Wolf Riders got wrecked. But Wolf Rider archers only cost 300 gold, which is pretty insane. Now, here on the flank, Hadries diving his Spider Riders into the Glade Riders, it looks like, and the Spider Riders out trading them. However, there are some Sisters of Thorn collapsing, so we'll see if these Spider Riders commit to further combat. The Biggins and the Greenskin Blob moving up. Footzag is hustling up the hill, I would imagine. Probably is going to want to drop an effigy of the Git, maybe on something here. What spells does he have? It looks like a Foot of Gork. Oh, dude, a Foot of Gork right here would be such an erection. Oh my god, do it. Do it. Do it. Here it comes. Boom, and the foot is dropped, and the Eternal Guard and the Glade Riders and the Sisters get hammered by a huge Hadries Foot of Gork. Oh, that was a thing of beauty, man. So very, very good value. So now the frontline fighting soon to be underway. Good kiting, though, from Dactyr. He's able to pull back the Deepwood Scouts, and those Swift Shiver Shards are shivering all over the face. Are Wolf Rider Archers 375 now? Okay, I was wrong. You're probably right about that. For some reason, I thought they were a little bit cheaper, like 300. But yeah, they got a cost increase, I think, recently. So now Durthu's going to be moving in. Durthu's certainly pretty good against Black Orcs. He's got great AP values, but there are Stone Trolls, and Bob is here, so a little bit scary for him nonetheless. And the Biggins are still relatively healthy. 75 here, 68 right here, and the other Biggins on the far side, 75 models, right? Wurzag's going to be dropping buffs here. Fist of Gork triggering Bonewood Staff. 81 melee attack on the Trolls. Black Orcs are being focused down by the Swift Shiver Shards, which is certainly very nice. Dactyr with a beautiful Manticore summon, too. Getting that Manticore summon to go after Footzag would be very strong. He doesn't really have the tools to run away. Granted, oh, good interception potentially. The Spider Riders, I think, have to save Wurzag here. They have to dive that Manticore and try and allow Wurzag to run away. Stone Troll still doing great with Fist of Gork. Biggins are cutting through the Race of the Frozen Heart, but Race of the Frozen Heart can probably win that trade simply because they're an ROR and they have really good stats, but even still, it's a little bit of a dicey fight. So the battle continues to rage on. Footzag is still hustling around there. Bounce of Power is a little bit Wood Elf favored, but that's only really because of the Manticore. You know, once the Manticore dissipates and, you know, things return to normal, we'll see. Although, you know what? Dactyr still really has these Swift Shiver Shards doing their thing, and this is why Footzag's a little bit riskier. Wurzag in general, he's really easy to snipe, whereas Grom the Paunch could be potentially running through all these Deepwood Scouts right now, causing huge disruption. But you know what? Wurzag is being kept safe. Hadries is doing a great job there, so it seems to be doing all right. He really needs to shut down these Swift Shiver Shards, though. Those guys are just pouring torrents of fire into him here. And Wurzag once again getting crumped. The Biggins and the Black Orcs are grinding in pretty well here. Durthu's taking some big damage, but not before he absolutely pimp slaps this Black Orc Big Boss. Man, oh man, negative 43. Durthu going full Optimus Pine here. And it looks like we might get a Wood Elf victory here. A little bit hard to say. The biggest thing is that these Swift Shiver Shards are still just going, man. Just ripping shots and really pounding whatever they shoot, which is incredibly strong. And also, Durthu is a bit of a raid boss here. Manticore Summon is gone. Footzag is on the ground somewhere. I'm not sure. He's around here somewhere. Where, oh, where art thou, Footzag? Oh, looks like the Black Orc Big Boss is shattering. Wurzag is probably running in the tree somewhere, and I'm just kind of missing him here. But so far, so good. Seems like the Wood Elves are pulling ahead. Durthu is anchoring. You know, Black Orcs getting worn down by the attrition of Durthu and the Race of the Frozen Heart. And the biggest thing is that the Dactyr was able to keep his archers alive, and we are going to get a Wood Elf victory against Greenskins. Durthu proving to be a solid anchor piece to stop the Greenskin advance, whereas, you know, most people use Sisters, and, you know, even Dryke can't do that, right? And on top of that, the Swift Shiver Shards did some brutal, brutal damage. But I think the thing that really cost Hadries was the Wurzag. You know, he just gets sniped so easily. Like, Grom the Paunch is such a good disruption tool for pushing into the archers, but again, it's a cool build from Hadries. I definitely dig it. Durthu, 2100, 700, 800, and 700. Pretty good value on those guys. More or less split over the course of the whole army. How'd the Biggins do? Yeah, Biggins kind of got focused a bit. Trolls were a nice inclusion, but Bob getting pounded too sucks. Bob is not cheap. He is not. So very GG. Well played. It was a good game. Cool adjustment by Dactyr, perhaps seeing some of the previous games and making some moves and some switches to cheaper archers with a little bit more heavy-duty frontline via Durthu. And now we can update the scorecard here. And I'll show you guys the bracket so you guys can see. We'll do that right now. Just take a little bit of a moment here. So I'm sure the vampires on the bottom side are like, God damn it, because now there's a Wood Elf against either Vampire Counts or Vampire Coast, both of which I think are slightly Wood Elf favored. Yeah, I never see the death icons. It's very true. I don't. So yeah, we can take a look at the tournament here. So like if we search by Skaven, for example, wow, we had a fair amount of Skaven. So yeah, so Skaven we had. They also do this too though. Skaven. How many Skaven did we have? So we had that guy Wally. We had this gentleman here. There we had Zero. So you're not seeing a lot of like regular Skaven mains, probably because it's a Tuesday. So I'm pretty sure if it were on a weekend, we'd be seeing a lot more Skaven towards the end. Empire only had 3. It was me, Falcon, and Cole. Dark Elves. Let's see, Dark Elves. So we had Damon. So okay, we had Dark Elves. Dark Elves did pretty good, and then they lost to Wood Elves. So he won the first 2 rounds. Aside from that, was there only one Dark Elf player? Hold on. No. Wait, yes. There's one Dark Elf player in the whole event. No, Super Slayer's Dark Elf. Okay, and Ilmatar. Yeah, we had a couple, actually 3 or 4 Dark Elf players. Beastmen and Empire were probably the least represented, I would say, which is usually how it is. All right, so we will go to the next game now. Let's do it to it. And well played to Hadries and Dactyr. Remember, despite only seeing one game, those players fought to the end of the bracket today, and both of them performed very, very well. Anticity versus Puggington. Anticity always a force of nature in the Faction War series. Yeah. There was a fair amount of Chaos players. There wasn't very many Dawi. There was like 4 or 5 of them, and I think they all lost pretty early. Grombrindle was there. He was probably one of the higher level Dawi players playing today. All right, so let's update this. Who's on the right-hand side? We have Anticity. And we're just going to put Pug. No, actually, we should put Reg. Reg Pug. All right, let's do this and get the Condom Wolf blocking. All right, so the map for this is going to be Shimmer Sword. There's a little bit of lag when you first join the lobbies. Connection to Steam was lost. Oh god, it's Tuesday, the dreaded Steam maintenance. Oh no. It's okay. It usually only takes a couple minutes and then we'll be back up and running. In the meantime, what we can do is if there's a Steam maintenance, let me go ahead and double check here. Steam. Are you giving us grief, Steam? Let's go back here. See if we're able to get back in there. Okay, it seems like we're okay. I know, Skaven are like the new Vampire Coast. People used to like hate on Vampire Coast players, and now they're hating on Skaven players. Back. Steam was being weird. No, we're fine. We're good. So now we're just hanging. We're fine. We're fine. Don't worry, guys. So we got Anticity versus Reginald Puggington. This should be quite a bit of fun. Vampires, the undead, they deserve each other. Yeah. Vicious Satsuma. Where's Wurzag? You know, it's hard to see every little detail and also focus on the macro elements of commentary. To be fair, you guys got to give me a break. There's a lot going on. If I was just watching and not having to like speak, it would be easier to see these things. All right. We are on Shimmer Sword. How many Lizard players? So we had one Lizardman get to the top 16 out of 92. He did pretty well for himself, but he was eliminated by, I think, Wood Elves. No, it might have been Evenstar. I can't remember. It's pretty fun. Next time I do this tournament too, I may actually like stream the earlier rounds as well, or maybe I'll coordinate with another content creator and have them like stream the early rounds. I think that'd be really fun. That'd be cool. That would definitely be cool. Vlad, yeah, Vlad is actually not bad against Coast. He's quite strong here. He can manhandle Luther in combat, and also is pretty hard to snipe. So, All right, so for Anticity, he's got, oh my god, Anticity with the dreaded triple animated Hulk. What planet is this? Oh, baby, look at these bad boys. Oh, they are thick. And damn, that's a thick-ass boy. He's got 3 animated Hulks. Looks like he has a couple of handgun mobs, too. So it's really interesting because oftentimes you just see, like, Vampire Coast box in this matchup, but this is very, very different. So triple animated Hulks, quad handgunners, a bunch of deckhand mobs with double gunnery white on Crab Scabscrape, Count Noctilus on foot, and it looks like a couple of Fellbats just to fight the Vampire Count Fellbats. Holy shit. That is some serious stuff. How many Bretonnians? Only 4. One of them made it really far. Prussian Prince did very well, but he was eliminated in the round of 16, just like myself. All right. So now for the other undead, the Vampire Counts, we have zombies. Crypt Ghouls are great. Crypt Ghouls really do a number on the deckhand mobs. We got the double black coach, I would imagine, or just a single black coach, mixed with the Vargulf, and up in the sky we have the Strigoi Vampire Lord. The true Macklemore Lord. This is the guy who went to the thrift shop to get the fur coat. Yeah, he's ready. And aside from that, we have Fellbats. A little bit of a vanguard of the Feasters in the Dusk, which I always love. I am super down Park Map. If he wants to, I will do it to it. I will do it to it. Thanks again for joining, guys. It's been a pleasure hanging with you all today. The Open Faction War is going to be a new weekly series where we basically have our traditional faction war, but just anyone can join. It's also going to be used as a recruiting tool for the invitational faction wars. What is that dreaded abomination? Yeah, the triple animated Hulk. Dude, I'm so hyped for this. You know, I think he brought the Hulks as like a tech piece against like Black Knights and like diving. Because in theory, animated Hulks should be very good against like Black Knights and those type of cheap cavalry units. Yeah, I like it. I think it's very cool. So, the battle is soon to be underway. Gunnery Whites are advancing. I would imagine they're going to be dropping some pot shots into the Vargulf here. Vargulf, is that gold chevrons? No, it looks like it's just bronze chevrons. Vampire Coast has some pretty cool powder. Yeah, with the quad handguns. Anticity, of course, one of the first folks to show you. You don't have to defend your back line. You can simply just crossfire and kill anything back there if you have enough guns. However, in this case, I don't know how that's going to work out. Probably not as effective against Vampire Counts. But the Crypt Ghouls are moving forward, while the Gunnery Whites with their extra powder, basically unlimited powder here. Unlimited powder. They're going to be shooting, and the first volleys of fire are going to be going into those Crypt Ghouls there. I would imagine that the animated Hulks, they got something to say to the manager here of these Crypt Ghouls. We'll see what kind of damage comes in. Oh, hail the mighty. So good. So here comes the Hulks, going to be battling the Vampire Gorilla. I don't really know how this is going to go. Animated Hulks are just like, they're like the definition of what I mean when I say haggard. Like these things. Just in a nutshell. So in the backfield, it looks like the Black Coach is going to be getting intercepted by the Gunnery White Crabs, which is certainly pretty strong. They have enough mass there. Pretty good handgun fire coming in, but Macklemore is able to drop Crypt Ghouls back here. So the Strigoi Vampire Lord going to be summoning the Crypt Ghouls to chase down the handgun mobs, which I think is very effective if he can get back there. Should be able to kill one of the handguns outright, or at least do some substantial damage. On the flanks here, the Crabos and the Gunnery Whites getting stuck on zombies, which is pretty unfortunate. Looks like the Black Coach was able to outmaneuver them. And over here, we have a big, ugly aerial duel with a bunch of Fellbats just kind of going fisticuffs with one another, which is quite hilarious. So at this point, looks like the Gunnery Whites are staying hot on the tail of the Black Coach. Granted, they're quite a bit slower. And the handgun mobs are getting some okay focus fire, shooting into the Vargulf here. However, the Crypt Ghoul is doing a very, very solid job. Incredibly good summon on top of the zombie pirate handgun mobs here. Should be able to potentially shut them down, or at least do some heavy damage. Anticity summoning some basic zombies right here, probably just to halt the advance of the Crypt Ghouls, and now his Gunnery Whites are moving back over. That's the problem with using the Gunnery Whites as melee tools against the Black Coach, is it can kind of just outmaneuver them, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. Gunnery Mob Summon, still dropping some shots here, might be able to snipe that Necromancer. That will get rid of Raised Dead, as well as the Forbidden Rod, if he can do some substantial damage. But now Reginald Puggington, going to be moving in here, going after the handgun mobs in the back with some real units, the Stearnsmen and Crypt Ghouls, which is really, really unfortunate for the Vampire Coast. They're not going to have anything strong enough to peel these guys off. The Fellbats on top of these regenerating Stearnsmen, I mean, those Stearnsmen are going to be an unholy nightmare to deal with. And I think we're rapidly starting to see why animated Hulks suck. They're dying across the board to like zombies and just like shitty chaff units. I mean, I guess Graveguard are killing them, but they're just like just doing nothing. Anticity might be able to pull off some witchcraft using his characters. Obviously, the two Gunnery Whites plus Noctilus is a pretty substantial threat. But, you know, if the Vampire Coast loses most of its chaff and just gets surrounded, it's going to have a really, really bad time here. So the pistol summons are very strong, though. But it looks like, look at that, summons on summons. You want to know how to counter pistol summons? is drop some more summons on top of them, live long, and cackle. So the pistol summons are shut down for now. The Strigoi Vampire Lord of Reginald Puggington flying around doing pretty good work. Of course, the more traditional way for Vampire Coast to play this matchup is using a monster box with like Gallows Giant and Spiteful Shot and things like that against Banshees, but pretty cool to see this innovation. Granted, some of the Hulks are still going strong. You have some hulky boys back here, and they got their anchors and, cannons on their arms, and they're just kind of beating on the Sternsmen, but haven't been able to kill a single model yet. Count Noctiles may be coming over there to help, a little bit hard to say. And more Hulks coming in. If Anticity could get a good isolation, maybe kill one of these big single entities, I think that would be a way for him to get back in the game for sure, but there's still a lot of Undead Chaff coming, and the Necromancer are able to stroke that Forbidden Rod a little bit longer and get that Winds of Magic for more invocations and things like that. So, but the Crab's doing a great work, man. More powder is activated. You can see the Vargulf getting pounded pretty good. It looks like the Black Coach is going to be sent in as a disruption tool. Balance of power here is still pretty even. Do we have any Hulks still fighting? Doesn't look like it. And granted, like I said, I'm pretty sure the Hulks are a tech piece against Black Knights. And, Puggington didn't bring anything like that. So they didn't really get a chance to shine. I mean, granted, as a saturation tool against, like, Graveguard, I suppose they can do good AP damage. But, we'll find out. So balance of power going a little bit in the favor of the Vampire Counts. Looks like we could potentially have a Vampire Count Grand Final, which would be kind of interesting. It'd be kind of cool to see that. Joe Leonard, thank you for the $10 donation. I don't see a message, but nonetheless, I really appreciate it. At this point, Anticity going to be jumping together and forming a Death Star. And you know what? His crabs are both healthy. He's got Count Noctiles with, I would imagine, a couple summons. The single entities for the vampires are a little bit beat up. Black Coach slightly damaged, and the Vargulf a little bit beat up as well, but yeah, it looks like the crabs are in guard mode, and they're just ripping shots into the single entities here. Ooh, Scab's Wraith. Nice one right there. Man, the Sternsman really took a bunch of damage there. And of course, Noctiles himself has pretty good AP values. So the Hard Knock Life can certainly get in there and do some good, juicy work indeed. But here comes the Macklemore Strigoi Lord. The Ghoul King of Ashoron is super good. One of the reasons why he's a very competitive pick. It's basically a free regrowth on your Lord. That means you never have to spend Invocations of Nehek on your main Lord. You can use them on like your other valuable assets. That's why he's so powerful. And here he comes. Got to be jumping in. This is the smart play. It's the conservative play. You go after the Halberds. You go after these ones here. You clean up all that trash. And then you just surround Anticity with your chaff, basically. And from there, you can cycle charge with the Strigoi Vampire Lord. Well, he's kind of stuck on the ground and can't really respond terribly well. Now, the one thing that Anticity could have in the back pocket, he could have, let's say, a couple summons. Maybe drop like a pistol summon back here and start ripping shots once a final blob fight is kind of determined. Still something that could happen for sure. So now Count Noctiles being attacked by the Vargulf, the big gorilla getting some big shots. Looks like an Invo is going to be going down. I don't know about the Winds of Magic situation, but I would imagine, is that a Roth's Moondial? It looks like it is. So Roth's Moondial has been used. It's one of the reasons why Count Noctiles is good, on top of just being a durable, vampire caster character with anti-large. He does have another summon here, which does give him a fighting chance. As long as he keeps the Gunnery Whites together, doesn't get kind of pulled into open field. See what the players are saying here. Saying GG, well played. Looks like he withdraws. Maybe there was a slim chance, but probably not. Not with the Strigoi Vampire Lord cycle charging, and also not being near his healing cap. Have you ever heard of the tragedy of Anticity, the zombie pirate? Yeah, a very ambitious build, but I love it, man. He's an innovator, trying something new. And today's tournament is a very good opportunity for that. So, yeah, the Hulks just kind of sucked. The handgun mobs also got shut down. It's very risky to bring handguns against, or powder or guns at all, against vampire counts with the prevalence of, Fellbats and just all the cheap chaff they have to tie things down. Pretty good value on the Gunnery Whites, so look at that. 1,300, 1,100, certainly not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Yes, that is it. Well played. Let's go to the challenge and go to the web browser. So give me a second to pull that bad boy up. And now we can do it to it. So web browser, might as well get the dreaded refresh out of the way. And yes, we're going to have Vampire Counts versus Wood Elves. That'll be an interesting one. So Reginald Puggington on the Counts versus... he won that, yes. And now he faces Dactyr. So we got Vampire Counts, Greenskins, and Wood Elves Vampire Counts. So 2 Vampire Counts making it to the finals. We haven't seen that in quite some time. I do remember when black coaches were meme units. Those were the days of old, my friends. All right. Let's go ahead and load into our next match here once the players get the lobby all set up. Cool build, by the way. Hulks are awesome. They are awesome indeed, but they really do struggle. Poor Hulks. Poor Hulks indeed. All right, so let's see. So on the top side, we have Evenstar versus Viking Cat. Should be a fun game. Certainly some very talented players. Turin, somebody brought Hulks 2 years ago when the Vampire Coast came out. Where was the Declaration of Innovation then? Yeah, well, it probably wasn't in the finals of a tournament, I would imagine. Okay, map is going to be, let me go ahead and decide on a map here for our next map. Map is going to be Oakenhammer. No, we already did Oakenhammer so much today. Iron Sand Desert. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so they can do their builds. We'll get the blocker up here in just a moment. The Condom Wolf will appear in the night to rescue all those wayward souls. Viking versus Evenstar. Will the Greenskins make it to the grand finals? We'll find out here in just a moment. So Death Bean, hey Turin, longtime lurker, finally caught one live. How much do you think each Waywatcher / Deep Scout Volley costs? Oh, I don't know. That takes some calculations in terms of like value, damage value it can do, or are you talking about how much does it cost a Wood Elf player? Like what are you paying for it? Faust, thank you for the donation as well, man. Says, what is best in life? Do it. What is best in life? Yeah. Cheers, man. Really appreciate the donations, guys. We're having a good time. Could Hulks be made more viable? You know what? If there had been Black Knights, those Hulks could have been pretty good. Maybe. But there wasn't. So they just sucked. Yeah. But, you know, it was a very cool build by Anticity. I loved it. And I like that he's like trying new stuff, cuz like yeah, you got to scheme these new builds or else you know, people will adapt to the meta, right? I loved it. Yeah, Anticity's in chat, so correct me if I'm wrong, but has that been like a tech piece against like Black Knights and like backline cavalry diving in? I would imagine that's kind of the route you're going with those. Like, so even if they have like Blood Knights, you just like block them with zombies and countercharge with Hulks. Brett the Mist King, all you have to do is be in my Discord, and then when I make an announcement, you just sign up. That's it. You were expecting more Graveguard? Yeah. Perhaps so. Perhaps so. Yeah, Graveguard, it's not bad against Graveguard if they have support. Yeah, it's large funds, which pretty much every single multiplayer game is played under the precedent of 12,400 gold, so. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, and he didn't bring any good targets. He brought like Crypt Ghouls. Crypt Ghouls probably beat animated Hulks in combat head on, to be honest, with the poison and just like the low melee defense on the Hulks. So, hey, my lovely wife is here. Smoking hot wife, Lady Turin, all up in this chat, holding it down. The Viking and Evenstar preparing for the duel of duels. What will the Viking do differently? He did see Evenstar's build earlier. Will he do a similar monster mash? Will he do an archer-based build? That, you know, Aerocrastic actually was one of the first folks who illuminated me to the effectiveness of that build. It's like a Savage Orc Biggin build with like Savage Orc Airboys in the back and Grom the Paunch, a couple basic trolls to block things up. It's pretty strong. How much does it cost no matter what you shoot at? Oh, I'm not sure. Death Bean, that's a really tough question. I'd have to do some calculations. Yeah. Thomas, you just realized you watched for a little over a year. Bit over 6 years. Watch your content for... Well, I haven't been doing YouTube for quite 6 years, but have I? No, not quite. I can't remember when I started, honestly. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying the content, though, Thomas. Yeah. Obviously, it's really hard to balance RTS games when there's so many factions, but personally, I think it's very fun. Granted, there's a studio... So I've really been like really hoping they come out with like a big like mainstream RTS game that's good. There hasn't really been one with like big esports support. If there is one that comes out, I would get 100% into casting it really aggressively and would try and get involved in the community. I love casting RTS. It's my favorite thing. Total War Warhammer is amazing. Obviously, it has a lot of balance issues, and the community has to police its own tournaments, which is kind of a, you know, it's a shame. But like in StarCraft, you don't need to have like, you know, admin decisions, really. I mean, it all self-polices. That's one of the biggest issues with this game in general. But there's a studio called Frost Giant Studios, which I've been keeping an eye on. They are staffed by former Blizzard employees who did Warcraft 3 and StarCraft, and they want to make the next big like RTS game. And they have some big investors from like Riot Games and a couple other big investors. So I'm really excited to see what they do. I'll definitely be doing some casting there and stuff. So, all right. So if we take a look at the build here from the Viking, he's got Orc Biggins, and on top of that we got AP Loonies, which are a really good choice. The Fanatics can get insane value. I've had my Blood Knights massacred by AP Loonies before. We do have a Giant River Troll Hag. We also have Grom the Paunch and a Ragnarok Queen. Orc Biggins and Black Orcs in the back. So very much just like a get in there and grind build. The Spider's leadership is going to be an issue. Definitely have to watch out for that bad boy, but we'll see how it goes. Yes, yes. 6 years ago? Yeah, no. There was a Magic video. Yeah, I know. So yeah, I want like a really big like RT. I'll always cover Total War Warhammer on my channel all the way through Warhammer 3, but if they do come up with a big RTS game, like I'll be doing one video for each a day, like really hardcore into both. So for Evenstar, it's more or less the exact same build we saw earlier, so don't need to talk too much about it. Double Blood Knight, double Black Coach, some chaff just to tie down the elite greenskin troops while the Black Coaches and monsters do all the heavy lifting. So pretty strong for sure. Pretty strong for sure. The Spirit Leech going down on top of the Ragnarok Queen. So, you know, obviously there's no Bob here. The Queen is certainly a much bigger HP pool. And, yeah, just going to move in. These greenskins not going to be sitting back as much. So it won't allow Evenstar to get as much, you know, really nasty... oh, there comes a breath attack. Really nice one from the Goose there. Unfortunately for the Viking, it does hit the Queen right in the face and brings her down to about 6.3k HP. But yeah, this is good. Advancing on the Vampire counts and starting to work on their chaff. Certainly strong. Looks like they're going to be pulling back right here. So here they come. As the Black Coaches and Cavalry prepare to hammer the flank, so the Cavalry are going to be moving in to charge the Black Orcs, while the Greenskin Blob, you know, continues to move forward. So Black Orcs countercharging here. Honestly, this will probably not be a bad trade for the Greenskins. Black Orcs trade very well with Blood Knights, and you can see the Mither is active. Good play there by Viking. There will probably be a fair amount of Blood Knight casualties there, whereas Black Orcs lost no models. On the other side, similar situation. Black Orcs getting charged, but this time by the dreaded Black Coaches and whatnot. Looks like good luck, have fun being dropped by both players. A Hatchling Summon, quite nice. Able to get some good work there, and the Blood Knights do get the lesser end of that trade. Now, Viking needs to make sure he pulls back the Black Orcs here. If he overchases these Blood Knights, he's going to be in really awkward position for when the mainline fighting starts. But nice Hatchling usage. Hatchling's kind of dragging down. Excuse me. Losing my voice. Anakin, I'm too weak. Losing a couple Blood Knight models there to the pursuing little spiders. Spirit Leech going down in the sky. Black Orcs getting charged by Blood Knights once again, but every time they charge in, they're taking big casualties. Black Orcs are very high mass, hard to run over, and oftentimes they will massacre shock cavalry. You can see Evenstar is taking some big damage from those Black Orcs right there. So far so good. Both players, you know, getting some good trades. Grom the Paunch evading the Strigoi Ghoul King. In the Black Orc pocket here, taking some big damage from the Black Coaches, but the Arachnarok Queen is here with the Grey Duns. And the Queen should do some good work against the Black Coaches, but she needs to make sure she doesn't get isolated in an open field by, you know, the Strigoi Ghoul King or anything like that. So we will see. Hey, no worries. Yeah, I think I was like, I'm pretty sure I've only been doing this for 4 years. I mean, I did put up like a Magic video way back when, but I wasn't really doing YouTube then. I was just messing around. So yeah, this is the one mistake I was kind of talking about, letting the Arachnarok Queen get surrounded by 3 single entities in open field. Greenskins don't really have too many ways to support this, and honestly, Viking is playing very well in most respects. This is probably the only mistake he's made this game. Granted, summoning the Spider Hatchlings is a very strong play, and now he does have the Hag, and Grom the Paunch is coming around, so maybe Viking is going to be able to turn this around. Ooh, look at this. The Strigoi Vampire Lord is surrounded. The Spider Hatchlings, Grom the Paunch, they're all getting in there. That is a bunch of damage, and this is very advantageous for the Greenskins, but it looks like in the end, the Strigoi Vampire Lord will get away from that, which wasn't for free. Certainly took a lot of damage in the process. Now, the rest of the army doing well. Black Orcs still healthy. Savage Orc Biggins relatively unimpeded, but the Black Coaches are going to start getting involved in the combat there, and that's going to kind of muck things up a little bit. Bit of a scary situation here, actually, for the Greenskins again. It was going very well. I think you need to get some Savage Orc Biggins right here, move them over into this combat. You know, get off the Skeleton Spearmen, because otherwise leadership could become an issue here as the Blood Knights really start to saturate in on top of the big monsters and the Hag and things like that. So little Goblin Big Boss is trying to run his heart out. Black Knights, or Blood Knights on the other side getting wrecked by the Black Orcs, but it's always a very scary time. It's a very tense situation, obviously. Grom the Paunch is holding well. The Arachnarok Queen with its 120 armor, pretty durable against Blood Knights, but even still, you don't want it to be happening. And it looks like there's going to be another Hatchling summon. The Hatchlings have actually been super clutch. Yeah, beautiful stuff right there. getting a nice little poison kind of application. Now the Savage Orc Biggins are rear charging in, which will give a little bit of punch back against these Graveguard and whatnot. And the Arachnoid Queen seems to be pretty stable, and Viking was able to stabilize his little big boss. Now for the other engagements, Savage Orcs, of course, cutting through pretty much everything they fight. Black Orcs able to do well against Blood Knights. Getting some Black Orcs on top of the hero character blob here would be quite nice. Invocation going down, it looks like an AoE in this area. And it was able to hit the Blood Knights here, which were taking some damage. Little big boss coming in. It'll help to have him in. He can definitely kill Blood Knight models. And the hatchlings, I don't know what they're doing. These little hatchlings are probably going after the Necromancer there, which is quite fun. Now, the battle has become a little bit disconjointed. We do have a Greenskin Pocket fighting over here, a little bit unsupported. But again, it's going okay over here. Blood Knights, man, not taking any losses, though. That's pretty rough for sure. Little Goblin Big Boss going for the assassination attempt. A little bit risky. There are Black Coaches, and the Strigoi Vampire Lord is nearby. Graveguard with great weapons are getting worn down here, and this is a very, very close scrap. And don't worry, Brett, we will drop a link to the Discord after this game is over. Don't you stress it. And the Goblin Big Boss is pulling back, being hunted by the mighty Strigoi Ghoul King, which honestly isn't bad for Viking. If he can occupy this thing's attention just by scurrying in circles, it's going to be pretty cost effective. Still 2 Black Coaches. He really has to make sure that he's able to keep... Oh, man, if the Hag breaks here, that's a big problem. Yeah, 13 leadership on the Hag. If she breaks off, 100% going to get chased down by the Strigoi Lord. And I think Evenstar knows this. Nice Mither coming in. And it looks like there's going to be a breath attack going down on the Hag here. Negative 18. Ouch. If she breaks and runs, that is a big problem. That will definitely give Evenstar a little bit of an advantage here. Because now the Giant River Troll Hag is going to be... He attempted to rescue it with the aspect of the Dread Knight, but yeah, there's no way. The Hag's dead. No more magic for the Greenskins. Here we have a couple Goblins. We have a fair amount of Savage Orc Biggins and basic Biggins moving into combat, but the Spider's broken as well. And yeah, that's going to probably be GG. Well played. It was a good proper scrap. Evenstar is certainly a very good Counts player, yeah. I feel like it's a favored matchup for Counts too. It's not just that, right? Like Counts do very well against Greenskins, I found. Not to say that Greenskins can't win it. They certainly can. You can see there was a couple engagements that Viking had that really almost caught some valuable characters and could have cost Evenstar the game, but in the end, yeah, the Hag is shattered. Spider's getting chased into the Shadow Realm. I mean, if the Greenskins here could pull like a miracle snipe onto the Strigoi Ghoul King, that might be like one way to get back in this game. Because then Grom could potentially survive, but there's still Blood Knights and still 2 Black Coaches. So, yeah, it's going to be a tall order. Although, yeah, Strigoi Ghoul King is actually going down here. He's taking a lot of damage from the Little Goblin. And, you know, the Great Uns is here, giving a leadership buff to these guys. Got some Black Orcs moving in. Grom the Paunch doing the work of the gods, man. So, Blood Knights here, we got 25. We have, how many right here? We have 19. Here comes the charging Vampire Lord. And, yeah, this bad boy's going to be taking some problems, man. He is steady, but obviously Grom the Paunch is not this type of a duelist. However, I mean, it's not to say he can't win it. But looks like army losses is going to be kicking in, and it will be Evenstar going on to the finals. GG. A proper scrap indeed. Yeah, the prime example of why I can never go melee build against Counts. Yeah, it's like, it's tricky if you don't have any ranged. Vampires really get to dictate the fight. Granted, it was a good play. I mean, Viking played very well. It was a good scrap. Grom... Yeah, Hag did great. I mean, all the infantry for the Greenskins more or less did good. The Blood Knights got shut down by the Black Orcs pretty well. The Spider, though, I always find the Spider gets just broken and chased off. But, yeah, I don't know. It was a good game. Well played. Obviously, Evenstar has played this matchup a lot. He clearly knows what to do and has carried victory with this very, very tried and true build here. Nice try, Viking, indeed. You want the guild speech? Here you go.
Welcome to Astalia, gentlemen. Right, I will not lie. The chances of your survival are small.
So if we update that, let's do it to it. Wookiee is barking angrily in the living room. So what do we have on the bottom? We have, oh my God, are we? So if Dactyr and if Puggington wins, we're gonna have a Vampire Count mirror match best of 3. Oh my God. Oh, don't do that to us. Oh God, Vampire Count mirror. Dude, that would be so troll, dude. No. Oh, Anakin, I'm too weak. Please. No more. All right. Well played to both players there. GG, well played. So now we will move on over to the next match. Oh, God, not a Vampire Count mirror match. Well, what's really funny is neither player is probably going to know how to play that. Like, if we do get to that point, it's just going to be like an absolute circus. All right. Doctor has to win, I know. I mean, Reg and Dactyr are both great people. You know, I don't want to root for either of them, like, you know, against each other. Imagine having to deal with they're talking about the Count Mirror match. Oh God, that's so funny. All right, so let me tell them the map. The map is, all right. Put him on the golden monolith. Looks like on the left side of the lobby we have Dactyr. No, guys, you do not want to watch that. Oh my God, imagine two Mortis engines just rubbing their sausages together. Oh God. So if you're part of the Discord, all you have to do is when I make an announcement, you just follow the link to the tournament sign up and that's it. And just follow the instructions from there. All right, so Dactyr and then Pug. Dactyr and Puggington. Chest.
When do you think you're gonna be done? In
like 30 minutes.
I'm gonna want $2 for coffee.
Dobrze. No. Thank you. All right. So. Dobrze. All right. Here we are. Let's get the Condom Wolf blocking. And yeah, looks like we're about ready. Double Vlad. Quadruple black coaches and like 30 zombie units. Dude, please no. Gorst versus Gorst. You know, I'm actually interested to see what could happen. I'm actually interested here. This map has some... This map is reasonably sized. You can definitely do some kiting here if you want to. Or you can play Death Star. Wood Elf Death Star isn't bad against vampire counts. Going like you know, any of the big tree characters with Ariel or Orion, with Treekin and Tree Men. Like, that can work. Granted, I think the strongest build is using a Tempest Air Force and just dominate the skies and then shoot them from overhead. Do you have a Summon the Elector Counts button? Let me see. So I have this one. Hang on. I can't remember. This week, I'm going to program a bunch of stuff into my stream deck and so I can actually have some fun buttons to press. No, I'm not from Poland, but my wife is Polish. So I know how to say a couple things. This one?
For Sigma!
Yeah, this one.
For the Empire! For the Warhammer!
Then we got the Palpatine cackle.
This action does not have my consent.
That's the one for when the vampire count mirror match happens, and then we have this one.
Do it.
We have the do it. I've only programmed a couple. I'll get some more this week. I just need to get the sound bites. So start when ready. Yeah, those pretty weak in that game right now. It's a hard matchup for vampire counts, Pug, but excuse me, Faust, but it's certainly winnable for vampires. If you're playing a very good vampire count main, they can beat Wood Elves. They can definitely beat Wood Elves. But I'd say it's slightly Wood Elf favored, like 55-45, but I still think a good vampire count player can win this. You just need to be really good at cycle charging, really good at your breath, your breath attacks and your Winds of Magic usage and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Yeah. Said Cześć to my wife. Yeah, I know some Polish, phrases. I can say some very basic things. Like, whenever I go to her parents' house in Poland, it's, dziękuję za obiad and, dziękuję za kielbasa, dziękuję za, pasztet. I know how to thank for all the different foods. Can you show their builds? No. I'm not showing their builds. No. Because then they could stream snipe each other. No, this isn't the finals. This is the other side of the bracket. So it's an open faction war, which means there's more than one player for each faction. So yeah. Yeah, it's a trap. That'd be a good one too. Yeah, the Palpatine do it is always good. Like,
Do it.
You can literally press that any time and it's funny. It's just so good. Yeah. So we're just hanging out, guys. You need to bind? Yeah, I know. My favorite build here is a Spellsinger of High Magic with Tempest. Or Sisters of Twilight, Ariel on the ground. Ariel is with like a Bladesinger or Treekin blob. And then the Sisters have like 3 Hawk Riders up in the sky. And then you just like kill the Vampire Count Air Force with Tempest and Hawk Riders. And then you just like sit in the sky and just pick off their value with Sisters. It's pretty strong. But you can also play a ground blob, and that also works fine. The Polish cow meme song, I showed that to Lady Turin the other day. It's pretty funny. Yeah. That's that. Am I trying to resurrect the mummy? What? Yeah, Schwarzenegger would be good. Yeah, there's a couple ways. Vampires, you know who I really like in this matchup is using the... you use the Lamian Vampire Lord. I think it's the best choice because what you do... And let's see if you actually brought it. I'm really curious. You bring the Lamian Vampire Lord. So then you have Scepter of Instability plus Lightning Fast Reflexes. So when they cast Tempest on you, you can use it and get a 66% ward save against it. It's pretty damn strong. You actually brought a Neckarch Vampire Lord. That's quite cool. All right, so for the Wood Elves and Dactyr, he's going for the ground blob. So it's going to be Durthu with AoE, Ariel with Soul Stealer and Tempest. We have a Glade Captain to give the buffs. So this is really strong for the ground blobs because the Glade Captain gives Dance of Loic plus also the Horn of Isha. Got a bunch of spears. We got some Race of the Frozen Heart, and we have a dreaded tree box. I'm currently learning Skaven. What would be a good second faction to complement them? A lot of Skaven players also like to play, I don't know. My three main factions nowadays are Empire and Skaven are my two strongest, and then from there I either mix in Wood Elves and a little bit of Greenskin action. Honestly, if you learn Skaven, you know, Empire... Skaven and Empire go pretty well together, I'd say. Skaven and Coast are pretty strong combos. Yeah, it's really strong. Yeah, I like to... Oh my god, it actually is a box. Like... If you look at it, this is literally a box. Like, people say a box when they see, like, actual, like, hexagons and things like that. But no, this is a box. Ariel, my queen. The Astalia soundbite, I already played it, like, 3 times on stream. We got to give it a rest. So for Puggington, he's got a bunch of skeletons, some Fellbats, zombies, Black Knights, being the Varix Reaver, Stearnsmen, Conic Stalkers, and some Cryptors. Cryptors are actually going to be really good here at breaking down the box. He's got a Vargulf and, of course, a big dragon, so... What spells does this guy even have? So he's got Spirit Leech and then the basic undead spells, and he's got Dark Protection. That's pretty cool. He has the lore passive of Beasts and Death, so he can get a ton of Winds of Magic back, which is cool. The dreaded wood box, I know. Time to sit back and watch the show, says Dactyr, like as if he doesn't even need to micro. It's basically you come into the Wood Elf box and you're going to be getting Flock of Doomed, Sword of Dazed, Soul Stealered. It's just like a big haggard box of glory, which I love. This is the Dota logo, what? Oh my god. Yeah, I've done similar builds. On my ground box build, sorry about that guys, taking off my headphones. In my ground base build, what I actually do is use a bunch of Glade Rider archers, and so I have some mobility because here you're completely at their mercy. Whereas if you have a couple Glade Rider archers, you can like poke and deal with poke the Fellbats down and like cycle charge things in the back. But in this case, yeah, it's just a box, dude. Reginald Puggington is like, oh god. See, the thing is though, I think like Evenstar would probably be pretty happy to play against the box. It seems like his playstyle is very good at like picking apart these like formations like this. The box moves, look at it. Oh my god, this is so funny. Dactyr is like just laughing, just cackling. This is so funny. The steel cage formation. This is completely tournament legal, yes. He's moving his box, he's attacking. But like, boxes are one thing, guys, but boxes often suck. But in some very niche situations, they can be good. And this is probably one of them. Granted, good vampire count cycle charging can certainly win this. Pug is gonna have to be on point though. He's gonna have to be on point. This is so Warhammer 1, says Zolaski. We've had a lot of Warhammer 1 games today, man. We've had a lot of them, and they've been absolutely wild. I'm actually, it might not be the most exciting thing to watch, but I like watching them sometimes just to like see if they can work. And plus, the other great thing is, I can be completely hands-off here. I can have my hands off the keyboard. I could just set the camera here. How about this? We could just be just like this. And we can just sit and chill. I can rest my hands for a couple minutes. Tell them to fast forward. Oh my god. Yeah, look, the zombies are moving in. The box is preparing. The dreaded Treekin. Zombies will certainly die pretty quick to the Treekin. Treekin got a buff to their weapon strength. It's 86 now, so those guys can do some good work. Here it comes, man. Like, even if I made it to the finals with my Empire, I would have been doomed because of the number of Vampire counts there are. I can beat Greenskins pretty well with Empire, or at least decently, but the Vampire counts is like such a hard counter to Empire in my opinion. Ooh, nice breath attack though from Pug. That's a great start. Don't you dare disconnect. Okay, my internet's fine. Looks like it's one of these players. Okay, it's good. Yeah, it's fine. The Eternal Guard here got crumped pretty good by that breath attack. Looks like an Apotheosis is going to go down. Probably not worth the Winds of Magic, to be frank. I'd probably just save it for like your big trees and different things like that. You know, I stopped playing Dwarves recently. I haven't played them too much. I play them occasionally as like a counter pick against Undead. So if somebody goes counts against me or picks counts, I like to pick Dwarves against them. Or if they go Tomb Kings or Coast, like I have Dwarves. But aside from that, I haven't been using them too much. It's just really annoying having to just be on the defensive all the time. I like to have some factions that have some aggression and things like that. So yeah, I mean, they're fighting right now. So like this counts as like, you know, as long as the box kind of, but you know, the problem is this happens, right? The Undead get a full surround. So if you take a big macro look at things, you can see there's a big surround, yeah. The first wave of zombies has gone down, but it was certainly worth it because the Eternal Guard got buttered up for a big breath attack. Probably getting a breath attack on the Race of the Frozen Heart would be a good play. And also Ariel gets a little bit out of her box there. Got to be careful. The Dire Pack coming in, trying to chew on Ariel, but going to be pulling back here. So he'll probably send zombies in one at a time, and every time he sends in a zombie, he's going to wind up a breath attack. I think that's going to be the primary game plan here. We'll see. Nice breath. Here comes another one. Very good breath as well. Both Eternal Guard are getting crumped, and zombies only cost 100 gold. So that's pretty cost effective. Looks like a little bit of cycle charging here from the Vargulf as it prepares to move in. But if you can break off the Eternal Guard, that's very, very strong. The Treekin don't want to be, you know, alone fighting spears and shit. We have Varix Reavers, no Blood Knights, nothing really elite. Crypt Ghouls are kind of waiting in the wings, so are the Crypt Horrors, but just kind of some Reaganomics here, some trickle-down theory. We'll see if it works in Warhammer. But sending those guys in to basically just, you know, sacrifice 100 gold. It ties down the Eternal Guard. It opens up a big breath attack. Vampire Coast used to be a main faction of mine a while back, but I stopped playing them. I don't know why. I got to get back to playing them. I really liked playing Vampire Coast before, but yeah, I'm kind of out of practice with them now, so I wouldn't feel comfortable playing Vampire Coast like against a competent tournament player. But yeah, Empire totally fine. I like Empire. Empire's great. They only have like 1 or 2 bad matchups. Well, 2. Vampire counts and Dwarves. So here comes the Crypt Horrors. Now the fighting is underway. Sternsmen have moved in. This will certainly be a very strong position. I'm curious where the Necrarch Vampire Lord is going to fight. Oh, a little bit of a mistake. You know what? If he could get Ariel in open field like that, because her attack animations sometimes land her out in the open. Looks like the Necrarch Vampire Lord, oh, that's really dangerous. He lands in the middle of Treekin. That could actually straight up lose you the game here. Like if there's some sort of a response from the Wood Elves, yeah, the Necrarch Vampire Lord is trapped by Treekin. There's also a Glade Captain here, and Ariel is beating on him now too. And the box is holding firm. It looks like on this side we do get like some sort of a Sword of Daith, and maybe a Soul Stealer went down. Soul Stealer does cost a lot of Winds of Magic, so in using that, of course, you're not going to have as much. And I guess there's not that much stopping power here, so we do have the Dark Protection and Arcane Conduit, and it looks like the Dragon's trying to get away. No, there is the Soul Stealer. Certainly hitting quite a bit. Balance of power is relatively even at this point. Both players taking some damage. The infantry on the ground, the Eternal Guard, are not close to breaking per se, but they're pretty low health. 33 models on this side, so they could be going down. Now the Crypt Ghouls are going to be looking for some engagements as well. So Vargulf here, going to be getting slapped by Optimus Pine. The dream that was a Vampire Count finals may be in some trouble if this Vargulf gets killed here. The Necrarch Vampire Lord is doing okay, though. He's putting some hurt on some of the Treekin, I suppose, or at least he's gotten 1 or 2 attacks there. That Vargulf needs to get away for sure. Vampires, you know, trickling in, like I said, which is good. You don't want to send everything at once into the Soul Stealers and to the Blobs and all those like kind of punishing mechanics. So here they come. A Necrarch Vampire Lord going to be pulling back up in the sky. The dreaded Wood Elf box continues to live long and prosper as Durthu absolutely slaps that Vargulf. You know, getting the Necrarch Vampire Lord on Durthu here would be a good play. Like, and then you pull back with the Vargulf and attack it, like, together. Although another breath attack from the big Lord here could be quite prudent. Not too many great charging opportunities. Probably get these Crypt Ghouls around the side and prepare. Although it looks like he's going to be charging into the Firebark Elders, which would be a disaster for them. Balance of power still even. Zombies getting worn down. The Sternsmen are doing a good job, though. These Treekin may be close to breaking. And, you know, there's a lot in reserve. He's still got the Dire Pack. His Lord's pretty healthy. Vargulf should be able to be healed to full health, more or less. We'll see. And it looks like Ariel may be getting ready to drop his Soul Stealer, although another breath attack coming in. It looks like that was a miss. It kind of like tickled the pickle of one of the Treekin right here. Now zombies are moving in. Treekin are kind of getting worn down across the board, actually. These ones have 11 models still, but these ones have 9. Definitely, if you could kill a treekin and chase them off with something, that would be a huge, huge value city. And honestly, Pug is doing quite well. You still have to deal with Aerial in the endgame, and Durthu is a bit of a problem, but, you know, a zombie dragon with proper support, especially with the Vargulf, can probably deal with Durthu. So the Glade Captain's on death's bed, actually, but these AoE attacks from the Sword of Daith and the Soul Stealer have been really good. And Overcasted Invocation is going to be used as a response here, which is certainly very necessary. And the Treekin are right here doing okay. Firebark Elders, of course, one of the tougher units in the game to kill. Very, very tanky piece. 10 models here. The Skeleton Spearmen are moving in. It looks like that is all the reserves for the Vampire counts, with the exception of their bats. Basically, the bats are just waiting to chase things off. They could be used to like dive on, squishy Eternal Guard. Yeah, the Vampires have gotten through the Eternal Guard wall. The Eternal Guard are kind of broken down. And Treekin do not do super well unsupported. And now the Varric Reavers and the Vargulf are going to be pulling back. While the Neckarch Vampire Lord battles Durthu. Very, very risky engagement. Yeah, sending in some Fellbats here is a good call. It will allow some cushion for the Neckarch Vampire Lord to get away. So over here we do have the Eternal Guard getting hunted down. The Neckarch Vampire Lord going to be trying to pull back. And it looks like slightly obstructed by some Treekin here. Yeah, honestly, the Vampires are getting through this position pretty well. A nice side charge here into the Treekin might be a little bit penalizing on their leadership. We'll see. Only down to 27, give or take. And the Zombie Dragon able to get away without taking too much damage. The Vargulf has been able to heal. Vargulfs, of course, are very strong, independent monsters. And these Treekin looks like they might be breaking here, although their leadership is holding so well despite just taking a massive beating in damage. But again, like I said, this matchup can definitely be won by Vampire counts with proper cycle charging, and you can see that happening here. It's a close fight. This is a very, very close fight. Nobody's really ahead. Although Durthu is being 2v1 by a Dragon as well as a Vargulf right now, which is very cost-effective for the Undead, considering the abundance of healing they have. The Vargulf might take some damage, but still more or less has a ton of room in its healing cap. And the Neckarch Vampire Lord seems to be quite happy. So Dire Pack won't do terrible against Treekin also, with its anti-large. It's not like super cost-effective, but that was a good trade. Got some good damage on Durthu. Pull back your monsters. Really, the best way to win this game for Vampires is to chase off and break the Treekin. Now that you've broken the infantry, break the Treekin, and just chase them off. So here comes the Neckarch Vampire Lord. It's going to be moving in and going after the Glade Captain. Beautiful snipe. That's going to be getting rid of... Up and down it goes. Glade Captain's dead. That's going to be getting rid of the big melee attack buff. And then, Durthu and Aerial are not going to win a blob fight. The only way that probably Pug could throw the final fight, potentially, is if he sends in everything at once and then gets Soul Stealered. The way to do it would be to, like, have one unit of infantry fighting at a time while you cycle charge and just do that, like, over and over. Yeah, pretty wild fight for sure. So here you can see Durthu is being a tree. He's doing what trees do. Treekin are starting to finally buckle. We do have 10 right here. The Race of the Frozen Heart are shaken, but those damn Firebark Elders could be a big breadwinner here. But the Zombie Dragon doing some great work, man. Aerial, of course, is okay in combat, but not quite as much of a game changer as, like a big freaking beatstick monster like a Vargulf and a Neckarch Vampire Lord. But the one thing you got to watch out for, too, is the Tempest. Aerial, I think, has Tempest. So a big Tempest on the Neckarch Vampire Lord could actually be something that could turn the tide of the game. So nice cycle charging by Pug, coming in with the Reavers once again into the Firebark Elders, which are embroiled in combat. Sternsman moving in. He really needs to finish off all the Treekin here. Honestly, I think that's probably the better play than going after Durthu. Durthu's going to be really hard to kill. But I would imagine he might have some zombie summons in the back pocket. He's going to have to save some, because once the Vampires run out of chaff here, that could be a big problem, although he still has Dire Pack. Dire Pack is going to be exceptional against Aerial, too. She only has 30 armor. So the anti-large Dire Pack is very, very strong there. Nice Soul Stealer. Really, really good. Hits everything. About as good as it can get. Didn't hit the Dire Pack or these Fellbats, I suppose, but everything else pays the Troll Toll. Sternsmen are proving to be huge, huge MVPs here. And the box is slowly falling apart. I do think Vampires are in a little bit of a better position here, but it's really close. Like one misplay, one bad Lord engagement could cost the game for either player, really. Nice downhill charge onto the Firebark Elders, who take literally 200 damage from like a full unit of lances. And now you can see the Neckarch Vampire Lord is going after the Firebark Elders, which is good. Each of your attacks could probably pick off a model. Just muck down the Lords and big characters with just crappy Fellbats and chaff. And Winds of Magic has got to be running very, very low for the Wood Elves at this point. I can't imagine they have much more. The Neckarch Vampire Lord pulling back. We do have some cute little fluffy Fellbats up in the sky. They're here. They're ready to go. Varric Reavers certainly want to pull back. Maybe get another refresh that charge bonus of 62. And where? Ooh, the Vargulf crumbling. That's a bit of a problem. That thing needs to stay healthy. Because Durthu can't move through this blob very well, so pulling in the Vampire Lords up to the top and then like poking in here would be really good, because then Durthu couldn't really get involved. The Dryads are very low too, and here comes another charge from the Varric Reavers. And the Dire Pack also collapsing from the top is quite good. That anti-large, you can see the Firebark Elders are really starting to take some damage now. Durthu moving in though. Here he comes. Firebark Elders are down to 2,400. Looks like the Vampire Gorilla is going to be coming in, dropping some shots, and the Vampire Counts are going to be pulling back here. And yeah, we'll see how many summons are left on the Neckarch Vampire Lord. I would imagine there's probably a couple. Vampire Gorilla doing its thing. Here comes another charge. Puggington playing a very, very tight game here, as is Dactyr. Certainly the burden of effort, though, is on the Vampire Counts here. They're the ones who really have to, you know, if they just sit and fight, they lose, whereas Wood Elves can kind of just sit and fight mostly, and all the Wood Elves really have to micro as their lords with this particular build. Treekin are broken. They're down for the count. Balance of power is still very even, with the Vargulf being low, as well as the Neckarch Vampire Lord. That kind of does pose a problem with killing Durthu in the late game. But if you just break these units, surround them and cycle charge, that should do the trick. Also saving the Dire Pack to chase off the Treekin is really, really good. And you can just leave zombie summons in here to fight, and just, you need to chase these things off though. If the Treekin come back and are able to reunite in the blob, that's going to be a problem. So Dire Pack is here. Those little houndos are going to go feasting. There is nothing left in the box except the characters. So just leave the zombies and chase down the Treekin. That is the proper play. Be very patient. You wait for Winds of Magic to come back on the Neckarch Vampire Lord. Drop healing. If you can get like a big invocation on like the Sternsmen plus your Knights and itself plus the Dire Pack, that's going to be value city. So, and obviously the vampires are attacking right now. Chasing off these Treekin does count as attacking, so they don't have to take this engagement here. Just ignore Durthu, ignore Ariel, get everything else, call it a day. Sword of Daith is here. He used it earlier in the game. I'm pretty sure he's been using it nonstop. And let's see what they're saying. I think you did it, says Dactyr. Depends, do you have magic, says Puggington. Look, they're like talking right now. Yeah, so chasing off the Treekin here is a good play. And Dactyr says not much. So these two gentlemen are talking to one another. Oh my god, are we going to get a goddamn Vampire Count final? Oh my god, a Vampire Count mirror match final. Well, you know what? It's unusual. You don't see it often. I'm sure it's going to be just like this. It's going to be just like this. Yeah, Reginald Puggington certainly did a good job unpacking his Christmas presents here in the form of Durthu, and now he's going to be going after the Wraiths. And there is nothing left for the Wood Elf army. They're just standing here. A valiant box, to say the least. Durthu must have gotten 4,000 value on Durthu. Holy shit. And Ariel, let's see what Ariel's got. Ariel's got 1,700. So yeah, right now, what needs to happen is vampires need to drop a zombie summon. And then cycle charge. Those dogs are going to be super strong. You could even send in the Fellbats, to be fair. So just getting a little surround here, preparing for the... I know, look at the box. You can like see the outline of it. It's so funny. You just... If Pug sends in everything and gets Soul Stealered, he's going to lose. Like, 100%. But if he's like really, really cautious about it, you know, drops a summon on top of them, you know, sends in the units. Yeah, perfect. Summon's coming down. That's going to lock down the characters. Now the Dire Pack actually here could do some good damage too. And it looks like they're going after the Sternsmen, which are being pulled back. Dire Pack coming in. Now is the time to cycle charge with the Neckarch Vampire Lord. Come on, Durthu, Ariel. Probably getting Durthu, but I don't know. It's hard to say. They're both like annoying to kill. Let's see where he goes. Looks like he might be going after Ariel here. There comes the first attack. Durthu's leadership is steady. Certainly not enjoying this. Very, very risky play from Pug. Like sending in everything at once. If there's a Soul Stealer, he could straight up just lose the game. It could be a throw for sure. Neckarch Vampire Lord, though, 2,800 HP. He must have gotten some good value this game, too. And Ariel's getting hurt real, real bad. Vampire Gorilla cycle charging is definitely strong. And it looks like the big dragon's going to be pulling back. Balance of power is going into the Vampire Count's favor as the Gorilla gets in there. And yeah, like the Dire Pack is doing big damage, too, I would imagine. Yep, here comes the big boy, but a little bit dangerous, engaging in an angle upon which Durthu and Ariel can attack you. Gonna have to get away. Durthu is really trapped. All right. Oh, that's a Flock of Doom. Okay. So that means, what that means, that Flock of Doom, it means there's, oh, and Ariel's in the open! Fresh fish! That means there's no more Soul Stealers. No, there's not going to be a Soul Stealer. A beautiful play. Get the Dire Pack out there. Dire Pack can nibble on Ariel all day, and now you can isolate and kill her. That is a huge, huge play right there. Although Durthu is able to break away, which is unfortunate for the vampires. 2,400 HP on the dragon. If it has an invocation for itself, that would be really strong. But I'm fairly certain at this point there is not going to be any more pertinent spells, because that Flock of Doom is kind of a sign that he doesn't have enough for Soul Stealer. He just wanted to cast something. And the Flock of Doom probably was the appropriate choice, considering, you know, he probably only had like 7 Winds of Magic. So here it comes. Vampire Gorilla. Ariel is on death's bed. Stranger things have happened, though. Durthu might actually break to army losses here, which would be really, really, really clutch, not having to deal with him. This has just been an absolute game here. I mean, I know it's a little bit haggard to watch boxes, but it's kind of interesting too in some ways to see a box be opened, right? Arcane Conduit is here, 2,000 HP. Boxes are like hard to kill, but they like don't often win in my experience. Like I see them lose a lot in tournaments. So yeah, Ariel is here, 40 HP. Dire Pack feasting on her, so throughout the Unclean's gonna have to share the scraps here with the Dire Pack in terms of lore. And now Derithu's just gonna pay the troll toll. There's no way. The dragon alone is gonna be a problem, especially with Dark Protection. Yeah, maybe if he Sword of Daith, I don't know, Flock of Doom. This is a bump and grind of all grinds. Yeah, that was a... Oh my god, and now we have Evenstar versus... We have to watch a best of 3 finals. God, just end me, dude. I guess I'll just put them on small maps so they can fight each other quicker. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll put them on, like, Troll Country. Oh my god. And down goes the Wood Elves. Holy shit. That was just a magical... And you see, that's where a Spellslinger Air Force build would have been really dominant. Against, it would have killed the Neckarch Lord, or at least given him a lot of problems and killed the Fellbats and stuff. But it was still, Derithu with 5,700 value. Oh my god. Look at Derithu, raid boss in it, dude. Neckarch Vampire Lord with 4,200, really not bad. Yeah. Well played to Dactyr and Pug. I know it was a bump and grind. But, you know, these things happen. There's 15 playable factions, and sometimes the stars collide instead of align, and you get that stuff. All right. Vampire Count Finals. Let's have some fun. Who's ready for this? I'm ready. I'm ready to just lose my sanity here as we get into this one. Thank God we don't have 2 or 3 more of those. I know. All right, so let me go ahead and message. I'll rehost. Okay, so we're going to rehost this, get the lobby set, we'll get the players in there. Turin. Bye. All right, post game a spectator. Oh my god, if we get a Helman Gorse mirror match, I'm just going to weep. Okay, hold on a sec. All right, so... And then we have Puggington. Man, I have a shit ton of messages here. One sec. Just making sure nothing. All right, looks good. Cool. All right, no drama. We're all set. Hey, Deathbean1, thank you for the $5 donation. Based on chat advice to the math cost per volley, about 43 and Scouts 29. All right, very cool, man. Certainly a question I've never been asked before. Really appreciate the support. All right, you guys ready for a Vampire Count Grand Final? All right, so Troll Country is the first map. You guys enjoy each other's company. Yes, best of 3. So not only do we suffer for 1 game, but we suffer for potentially 3. Okay, well, I have no idea what they're going to do. Like, 0 idea. We got Puggington on the left and Evenstar on the right. And then we have Evenstar. Let's do Puggington. And now we can load on over, get the wolf up. And this is for all the marbles. This is for everything here, guys. You predicted Mortis Engine? Holy shit. Mortis Engine on Mortis Engine just grinding against each other. Oh, that's so foul. It's just so unfortunate. We have a donation coming in from Flying Potato. He says, Helman Gorse, more like Helman Worst. Dude, we might actually see Helman Gorse here. It could happen. Well, at least for those of you guys who are fans of the Vampire Counts, you're finally going to get a faction war win. But, you know, it's against another Vampire Count, which is hilarious. No, but which one will win is the question. That is the true. This is going to be a battle with no deaths. That is also true. That is also true, my friend. Well, now I don't feel so bad for not making it here. My Empire, like, it's so hard to beat a good vampire count player with Empire. Reginald Puggington says, at least one match needs to be a Gorst mirror. And then Evenstar says, no promises are made. Oh my god. Mortis Kilbasa. What? What's going on here? Holy shit, man. Well, I don't think Evenstar is the type of guy to meme. I think he's going to take it seriously. Puggington might meme. I don't know. But, like, Kemmler is really quite strong here, I bet. You know, with his healing. You need a Mortis engine. There's going to be a Mortis engines on both sides. Aerocrastic says, I guess it's humanitarian to make people that are already dead kill each other. Yeah. Yeah, you know, we're just looking out for the world here. Oh my god. Eli, I love the remix there. One sec, guys. Gonna get a little bit more water here, and I'll be back in just a minute. In the meantime, you guys enjoy the glorious pregame hype of the Vampire Count duel. All right, I'm back. Oh my god, a couple donations. So from Flying Potato, Helman Gorst versus lesser known cousin Gelman Horst. Oh, dude. And then from Lich 109, I don't get it. This is a bad matchup for Vampire Counts, yet I've never seen them lose it. That's fair play. It's true. Some solid logic there. Samuel Christensen, if it goes to a tiebreak match, it's going to be Gorst on Gorst. Oh my god. Well, you know, this is kind of like a freak show, right? It's like not the most fun final to watch, but it's like watching, if you guys have ever watched MMA, like mixed martial arts. So in Japan, Japanese MMA, whether it be Pride or modern Ryzen, they love to put on freak show fights. So just get like a massive, like obese sumo wrestler or like football player type person who has like very poor fighting experience and make them fight like a small, really small fighter, you know? Like this is kind of like that. It's just like a freak show, you know? Yeah, which is funny. Well, yeah, Evenstar's ready. Troll Country it is. Next we'll put them on Spirit Essence of Chaos so they can just grind each other for the whole time. Vlad could be okay here. The problem is Vlad dies to cycle charging, probably. You know what's going to be really interesting, too, is to see if someone goes super Air Force. Like, I feel like if you're going Air Force here, you got to go deep. I'm talking like Vargeists with like Terrorgeists. Like the skies could be contested because vampires have no way of supporting an Air Force from the ground aside from maybe like a Mortis engine. So if you're going air, I think you got to go all in here, or just go all in on the ground with like Blood Knights and shit like that. You know. Ale Domenico says the last time you watched the stream it was Chaos on Chaos. Yeah, I know. It's just tends to happen. Oh my god. You know, I would love to have a stream with you guys just watching like freak show MMA fights just to show you guys. I don't know I know there's like YouTubers whose entire existence is just watching other people's like content and videos and reacting to it. I don't know like how you get away with that on YouTube. I mean, watching nobody really cares about old Pride fights. You could probably get away with that. Although, there's no sound on. No, you probably couldn't. Like watching a full Pride fight. I'm pretty sure the UFC owns those fights now, so. It'd be so fun to just sit with you guys and talk you through freak show fights. Probably the worst freak show fight I've ever seen in MMA. If you guys want to look up here, I'm gonna type it in chat. Worst freak show MMA fight. Gabby Garcia versus just type in Hota, I think is her name. Yeah, if you guys want to look that up, it's just like This like 6'2" Brazilian woman just jacked out of her mind. Like a serious black belt in jiu-jitsu against like a 50-year-old Japanese woman who just is like completely out of shape with like no fighting experience. And it was just like the most like brutal freak show I've ever seen in MMA. Bob Sapp versus Akabono, yeah, that one's pretty serious. But at least like they're similar in size and, you know, both have like, yeah. But nothing is as bad as that one. Yeah, it's Gabby Garcia beating up a grandma, basically. Yeah. Like, the woman that she fights is, like, her only experience was in, like, WWE-style wrestling, and she just gets her ass beat. It is, like, brutal. Yeah, pretty much Bob Sapp fights. What's interesting about Bob Sapp is he kind of became a meme, like, in his later years, because he just, like, threw fights. But, Bob Sapp was actually a force to be reckoned with in his early days. He almost took out one of the Nogueira brothers. He defeated Ernesto Hoost, who's, like, an amazing kickboxer. He was pretty scary in his early days. Yeah. You couldn't watch it? Yeah, I know. It's... Yeah. Yeah, there was a fight with a female MMA fighter fighting like some really out-of-shape guy from the audience recently, and she just like kicks his ass. That was pretty funny. All right, anyways, guys. Back to Warhammer. Yeah, that's it, Lost Frack. All right. So, if we look at the build of Evenstar... Oh! Dude, it's Helmengorst! Helmengorst. Alright, so we got Helmengorst, we got a corpse cart, we got some Graveguard with Grey Open Zombies, Cairn Wraiths, Spears in the back, double Vargulf. So, yeah, double Vargulf Gorst, basically, is the core of this army. Now, it looks like Reginald went for the Air Force, but he doesn't have a Mortis engine. I'm really concerned about that. For Pug, he's got Zombies, he's got Crypt Ghouls, so no Graveguard. He has double Vargeist, including the Devils. And for his Air Force, he's got a Vampire Caster of Shadows. Yeah, and he also has a Von Karstein Lord. So you see what I'm saying? Reg went for like Air Force dominance, which he would dominate the air with a Von Karstein Lord. But can he kill Helmengorst in his box? That is the question. So here it comes. Oh god, this is just going to be so awful. And look, you can see that freaking Helmengorst is like surrounded by like Crypt Horrors. He's going to be even more annoying to get to. Oh god, this is just so painful. Is this going to replace the real faction wars for this month? No, it's not. The Invitational is still going on. Because in the Invitational, you guarantee that every faction is represented on stream, whereas in this one, it's like... I should probably rename this to like something else, like Mono Faction Tournament or something. So it doesn't overlap, but... Basically, I want to use this tournament to, you know, get eyes on the newer players and, you know, potentially find some new folks for the Invitational. Yeah, the mobility certainly is nice. You know, if he can force Evenstar to like overextend somewhere, like you don't want to take a if you just avoid Helmengorst. Like honestly, that's what I would do. I would probably just avoid Gorst. Looks like there's going to be a zombie summon going down, and then he's going to be charging back in on top of the Vargulf. Oh, look at this! And the Devils actually isolate, and there's like no mobility in Evenstar's army. If he can surround this Vargulf here and kill it, that is huge, huge value. But it looks like the Vargulf might be able to get away. You can see all the Vargeists are just like screeching, like, and just swarming it. Yeah, that's a really nice play there. And now Helmengorst is kind of like trying to find a fight, but nobody's giving him one. We got Crypt Ghouls moving in. Evenstar is forced to use, I think, an Invocation there. I couldn't quite tell. So now the Vargeists are going to be pulling back. That was good. That was quite solid. But really, I would just kite with everything else. Just like let zombies fight, run away from Helmengorst. Avoid the combat to the best of your abilities and try and get picks all over the battlefield. Although the Von Karstein Vampire Lord takes a bunch of damage there. He does have a Terrorgeist, I think, continuing to just goon wherever he can. Looks like he might be going after the Gorst right now, which is kind of risky. Gorst has a lot of support there. Evenstar definitely, you know, keeping his little Death Star rolling here. And it looks like the Vampire Air Force, ooh, nice breath attack. It hits the Graveguard, really softens up that pocket. And now it looks like it's going to be going after that Vargulf again, or maybe rear charging into the zombies here. This is nice. Yeah, Pug is using his mobility to just like win these little like skirmishes all over the battlefield. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Vargulfs, though, will do some good damage against the Zombie Dragon. They can punch back quite effectively. Healing cap is a thing, though. We'll get there eventually. Looks like the Von Karstein Vampire Lord going to be using Invocation, but so far he's trading well. And there are some Vargeists coming in. Vargeists can certainly put some hurt with their high DPS against these very, very squishy Vargulfs. Vargulfs aren't the tankiest of monsters. Their regeneration kind of makes up for it in their mobility, but even still, you got to respect it. So far, here comes another Shriek. And honestly, Helman Gorst hasn't gotten that much value. You know, he's mainly just been fighting zombies and chaff, and that's probably what I would honestly do, is just summon zombies on top of those units. Welcome back, darling. And here comes the Terrorgeist moving in. You can see this this guy might be in trouble, this Vargulf, this gorilla, taking a lot of damage. But here comes the resurgent forces of Evenstar. They've been able to clean up the chaff over there, and now he's got a lot of scary stuff moving in. And both Vargulf's able to kind of narrowly survive, which is a bit of an issue, right? Evenstar's durability and long-term grinding is better. It's kind of like watching a macro StarCraft Zerg player, you know, just surviving the initial rush and then just out-macro his opponents. It's kind of like a similar school of thought here, the Helman Gorst. Here comes a very aggressive play. Pug sending in his Von Karstein Vampire Lord to actually go after Helman Gorst. A little bit risky. There's a ton of Cryptors there and different things like that, but he does have a Goose, you know. The Goose should be able to do some work. Also, probably getting your Lords like up and over Helman Gorst and just breath attacking him would be really strong. Sword of Anti-Heroes is active, and now the blob fight is on. Helman Gorst draining pretty much everything nearby. Reginald Pug has some, you know, support nearby, and his Vargeists are in good shape. Now Helman Gorst has taken some damage here from the Goose. But yeah, you need to get that Von Karstein Lord back in the air for sure. Yeah, he's got a lot of gooning potential. Like, if Evenstar overextends even once, he could potentially change the tide of the game. So over here, it looks like Puggington does have some skeleton warriors up in the high ground. Gorst just being the Gorst man, though. Just doing a lot of problems. That Terrorgeist doing great work. Yeah, and here comes a big surround from all the Vargeists. That's going to be a big alpha strike. If you could drop a zombie summon to really help buffer your monsters here, that could be really, really nice for Puggington. This one Vargulf is crumbling. It's certainly on death's bed at -13, but an invocation will probably keep that thing alive. The Vargeists are pulling back now. Obviously, he doesn't want to be fighting Cryptors and Cairn Race here on the ground with Skeleton Spears. It's a pretty ugly fight. And is the Gorst man taking any damage? Not really. This Goose is getting the support of, I think, some shitty zombies, but nothing else really. Could go over here, too. Just go clean up these Skeleton Spearmen. Just get, like, you know, 600 gold for free, more or less. Because this Helman Gorst blob, I think you got to kind of try and pull it apart at this point. Yeah, because you can see Puggington's force is just getting out-attritioned by the Helman Gorst blob. He kind of bet on the Air Force. I'm curious, though, since this is best of 3, if we'll see kind of a switch in tactics. Vargeists coming in, going into a rear charge of Evenstar's Graveguard. That should be a very good trade. Should be able to kill the Graveguard really quickly with the new changes to the AP on the Gooses. We do also potentially have another invocation, which could be nice, but yeah, Evenstar's blob is very, very scary, guys. Yeah, I think Vampire Counts are going to win, too. I think it's a safe prediction. And the Graveguard do get crumped here, but here comes a big rear charge, and Vargeists do not like to be the ones getting charged, right? Their whole advantage is they're flying, and they do pretty good damage on impact and also sustained combat, but they don't want to be getting charged like this. Helman Gorst just cackling all the way to the bank, man. Cackling all the way to the bank. And yeah, it seems like Puggington has kind of run out of support. It looks like he's kind of making a desperate play to go after Gorst here. many a warrior has died at the feet of the great Helman Gorst. Maybe a little cheesing could happen, but Gorst has a lot of support nearby. He's got Cryptors, and Cryptors are like, if you're a Helman Gorst player, you just want to like surround him with Cryptors, and he's super hard to kill. And yeah, you can see the Von Karstein Vampire Lord's going to be going down from the gorilla beatings, and that is going to be GG, it looks like. I think both players saying that. Yep. The Gorst man is, he's a terror in the night. Help me, Vargulf. Help me, Vargulf. I'm too weak. Helman Gorst is definitely Palpatine. He's just like, all of his Imperial Guard Vargulfs are just fighting for him, and he only fights when he has to. Yeah. Well, yeah, Helman Gorst got 1600. I mean, really just some good isolations by Puggington. I liked the gooning nature of his build, that he could really get in there and, you know, go for that. But I have a feeling we might see a Helman Gorst mirror in this next game. I think Pug is going to switch, realizing how strong that is. GG being said by both players. In the most haggard faction war of all time. I think it's down here. I'm just putting them close to each other to spare the misery of having to like walk all the way across. One sec here. We should just put them on like a Dark Elf map, just like map set. All right, there you go. We're all good. Samuel Christensen, if it goes to a tiebreak match, it's got to be Gorst on Gorst, yeah. That was some shit. It's evil Gandalf, yeah, because Gandalf comes to the Shire on his cart. That actually was surprisingly interesting. Like, there was some dynamic play and, like, cool engagements. Look, Evenstar, dude, Evenstar instant locks. He's like, I know what I'm doing with this. Like, I'm just gonna do it again. Yeah, he's probably not changing his build at all. Just exact same thing. Could Vlad with the big Winds of Death? Yeah, you know, you could do some weird Winds of Death shit. I think Evenstar's build is very strong, and it's like a good conservative style of play. Yeah. So this is it. There's a little garlic in this matchup, I know. Kemmler could be good here. You could like summon Krell right on top of Gorst and just be like really annoying. Probably get some good HP off him potentially. Pug is gonna have to switch up his build. The last one I really liked, but it couldn't deal with the Mortis engine. Like the amount of power on the ground was just too much to bear. Not to say he couldn't have won it. I mean, maybe if he had like gone after the Cryptors instead of trying to focus the Gorillas, just like killed the Gorst support. This is a very small map, but like it doesn't matter. Like vampires aren't going to kite each other, so might as well let them fight quickly. Please, Pug, copy his exact same build. Well, you're free to message him in Discord and tell him to. Oh my god, dude. Alright, what would be the most degenerate? Probably an actual Mortis engine, okay? Actual Mortis engine with Kemmler. Because then you get Kemmler's healing with his Tomb Blade plus the Mortis engine. Like, and it's just super obnoxious. Like, I would probably go Foot Kemmler, just like on top of the Mortis engine. Yeah. I say a tiebreaker is Gorst versus Gorst. Well, you know, RNG wins all. Now it'll come down to the other engagements. Like, if they both do Gorst and double Vargulf, then it's just going to come down to who gets the better Vargulf play. Evenstar obviously clearly knows his vampires, as does Puggington. They both got into the finals today. Yeah. We'll do it, man. We'll load in. Yeah, Crow would be nice. Crow lasts a long time, too. You know, you could... What would probably be really strong? Okay, hear me out. Puggington goes Kemmler, double White King, double Scab's Graith, Mortis Engine. Mortis Engine, double Vargulf. That's really strong. Because then the Scab's Graith cleared the chaff quicker. And you have, like, the White Kings to grind. That's probably what I would do. Let Kemmler ride the Mortis engine, that'd be pretty sweet. I mean, I feel like he could. Like, it wouldn't be beyond the scope of lore for him to actually ride a Mortis engine. Kemmler will beat Gorst as Kemmler heals much more. Yeah, I think I would probably go with him, yeah. Gorst duel, come on. Yeah, that's true, Daniel Johnson. It certainly does. I don't think it would matter too much, though. Like, the Flying Goon Squad, because what would happen is Evenstar would just stay in a box, and the Flying Goon Squad, if they dove, they would take casualties. Wouldn't change things up too much. Is it 3 single... You're allowed to have 5 single entities. Only 3 can be rare. So your rare would be a Mortis Engine and 2 Vargulfs. And then Kemmler would be on foot. And... Oh, no, but then, yeah, the double White King is too much. Yeah, that would put you up to 6. So maybe just 1 White King, then. Yeah, let's Scab's Graith. Kemmler can get gooned, but if you bring the Cloak of Mist and Shadows, he's a little bit harder to goon. Plus, if he stands in the middle of like a Cryptor blob, he's going to be really hard to kill. We're in the grand finals. Of 92 players, all of whom were playing more or less different factions, we had 2 Vampire Counts make it to the grand finals, which is interesting because Vampire Counts almost always lose in our faction wars. But today's been their day. They've done quite well for themselves. We can take a look at the... we're loading in right now. Some good water right there. Stay hydrated, my friends. Wouldn't it be funny if one of them just like showed up with Sylvanian handgunners, just like cackling, just blast Gorse off the map with like Sylvanian crossbowmen? Yeah, unfortunately that would be a rule break. Yes, I will update the scorecard. I'm used to the faction wars at all being best of 1, so I kind of forgot to update the scorecard there, so my apologies. I will take care of that in just a hot moment. So as we load into the game, currently Evenstar is up 1, and yeah, that's looking to be something. So let's do that. Load back in. That's right, we got to get rid of the Condom Wolf too. Thank you for your service, Condom Wolf. You have done well. So somebody sent me an updated Condom Wolf that's been colored in, so I'll make sure to actually use that on the next stream if you are watching this, bud. So we'll have a faction war probably end of the month, like, you know, towards the end of January. I'm probably going to be moving in February. Anna and I are trying to move, so... Yeah. Oh, whoa, we brought Manfred. Okay, holy shit. Manfredo. I guess that's a lot of winds of magic. Interesting. So for Puggington, he's going for the Mighty Ducks Flying V formation. He's got zombies and Claw of Nagash, a ton of caps, so Black Knights, and double Blood Knight with a Corpse Cart. Okay, that's cool. Trying to win the mobile game and then, you know, punish the blob. Oh my god, and Evenstar switches it up. Oh my god, look at this shit. Oh my god. If Pug had done his same Air Force, he probably would have won this. So yeah, we got double Blood Knight though. Like, Blood Knights can be really punishing against gooses and things like that if they land in the wrong spot. So it's Manfred von Karstein with Purple Sun and Sword of Unholy Power. And if we look at Evenstar's army, it's zombies and a Mortis Engine box with Necromancer back here as well. Pretty hilarious. So immediately the Spirit Leashing begins, and it looks like there's going to be a charge. Granted, you know, Manfred can certainly get some healing. He's got to start pressing this army. He's got to like move up. Pug's got to move over here and just like surround that army with his cavalry. And yeah, right now just like the Flying Goon Squad trying to goon, but if Puggington has proper micro, you know, nothing should really get in there for free. It's not like there's a ton of winds of magic here, so those Spirit Leeches aren't going to be like super... yeah, he's trying to snipe Manfred. Ooh, man, brutal breath attacks right there. Both Goose attacks were able to hit Manfred. So he needs to keep moving, just stick with his army. Just move up and, you know, get onto this Vampire Count blob here. That's just kind of chilling here. But yeah, the Flying Air Force certainly doing some work. Fly, my pretties! Yeah, pretty good bait and switch for sure. That's the thing, right? In mirror match best of threes, it's just like in StarCraft. It's like... Right, so if you're like Zerg on Zerg, it's like, oh, are they going to do, or let's say Protoss on Protoss, like, oh, is it going to be a 2-base timing? He did it in game 1, is he going to do it again? It's really something we don't see often in Total War Warhammer, because in traditional RTS games, you play mirror matches against the same faction over and over, and it's kind of like, you know, you have to either, yeah, it can catch you off guard. Anyways, Manfred is getting healed, so he's getting the Mortis Engine. The big thing is going to be making sure to avoid the dreaded Terrorgeist breath attacks. The Blood Knights should be really good. I mean, as long as he can prevent Manfred from being sniped, you know, he should be okay here. So no Gorst. Gorst would have been a little bit more durable against the Goose. Gorst's base HP, I think, is quite a bit higher than Horse Manfred. You also got to make sure you don't give Evenstar, like, free targets. Oh my god. Oh, is that going to be what I think it is? I think it is. Oh! The Purple Sun! Unfortunately, it kind of goes the wrong way, but that Purple Sun did some pretty good damage, actually. Kind of punished both Skeleton Spearmen. And now the blob fight is underway. The Mortis Engines are colliding! Look! Da-da-dun, da-da-dun. Mortis Engine duel. Get in there. Oh yeah, looked like both players are just throwing all their haggard shit at the fight. These vampires deserve one another here. So, yeah, everyone just charge everything in. Screw it, man. Like, who needs tactics? Just blob. Let's see whose Mortis Engine is stronger. This is the Claw of Nagash, mind you. Skeleton Spearmen are breaking down. Manfred is taking some damage. Yeah, that's going to be bad. Both Goose attacks on Manfred. Ooh, that was painful. Oh, God. Manfred took that beating like a champ. He's going to have to try and get away and, like, pull the Gooses into open field for the Blood Knights. Okay, Manfred might survive if he gets an invo off. Yep, the big, disgusting blob is happening. The Blood Knights are surrounding... you know what? I have no idea what's happening. Mortis Engine duels. The Mortis Engines just battling each other. Well, oh, look at the Goose is actually dying to the Blood Knights, though. You know, even if he loses Manfred, he better drop like a summon or something before he dies. Yeah, Manfred's trying to get in combat to stabilize, but I think he's going to die. Does he have any spells before he goes? Nope, Manfred's dead. And yeah, now it would appear Evenstar is in a commanding position. Clearly Evenstar has played this. If Manfred lived, I could have won, he said. Yeah, I mean, you never know. Keep trying. We'll see whose Mortis Engine will tickle the final pickle. The Blood Knights could certainly still do some work. I mean, obviously, he's at a huge disadvantage without a Vampire Lord, but... yeah. Just haggard Mortis Engines all day, man. One Goose has taken a ton of damage here from the Blood Knights up on the high ground, actually crumbling down. Unfortunately, Pug has forgot some Black Knights back here. Probably wants to pull those guys in. They could definitely charge in the back here and do some... yeah, I can't invo if he's crumbling, that's right. I mean, he could have maybe raised head or something, but... Yeah, the Mortis Engine duel. It's underway here. Epic matchup indeed, I know. This is the matchup that all of us Warhammer fans want to see. This is just the Vampire Count dreaded mirror match. Yeah, the Purple Sun would be okay here, but not as good as you guys think, because most of Evenstar's army is single entities. Aside from that, you know, it would probably hurt the Blood Knights even more. So the Mortis Engine drain starting to add up. Evenstar is running out of support, like all of his chaff is dying. But the Claw of Nagash probably needs to fall back onto the Blood Knights a little bit. Oh my god, just look at this filthy, filthy situation here. The Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, Helm of Discord certainly feels pretty good. No invo on these Blood Knights. They're going to have to keep going at it raw here. Yeah, we'll let that bump and grind go, man. I need more practice in this matchup because I've never played it, says Reginald Puggington. Yeah, dude, the odds of this happening are so slim. So slim. It's pretty unfortunate, but, you know, it's kind of a funny way to end things. Yeah, and there goes the dreaded Terrorgeist. The Cloth Nagash is running. Oh my god, it's still going. Is this so painful to watch? You know, is there a chance? No, not really. Like, the Mortis engine is draining, you know, on both sides, right? So, yeah. Looks like Cloth Nagash is having some problems with the Gooses, too. If you could, like, move through the zombies and try and, like, pull back. How are the Blood Knights doing? Blood Knights are just dying to the drain. You have 35 right here. And, yeah, I still forgot about those Black Knights there. Certainly would have been helpful, but not, you know, game-changing, per se. Yes. They didn't have a Gorse fight? No, and that's GG. So Evenstar is going to be our champ. Winning with the Vampire counts. So Nagash apparently was strong. Well, I guess Manfred has croaked, so. Yep. That's that. Top tier competitive play here. Well, Vampire count mirror matches almost never happen. Although, you know what? Seeing Evenstar play that, I'm like, if I were a really good Vampire count player, I might even just like pick Vampires to counter that. The bait and switch, man. I'm sorry, Puggington. There's nothing we can do. Oh my god. Yeah, so yeah, just Manfred dying was obviously the reason why that went badly. Yeah, like all the support was mostly gone. Actually, hold on one sec. Wait, 1 second. Hold on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is too many single entities, I think, isn't it? Hold on, guys. Because if this is the case, then we'll do a replay if Puggington wants to, of course. But correct me if I'm wrong, but 1, 2, yeah, I'm counting 6 single entities with the Mortis engine too. That's too many. So, hang on. Oh, where'd Evenstar go? Because, yeah, that was too many single entities, right? That was a rule break, I think. So we would just replay it. I think you had 6. We'll check. Next level shit, I know. Hey. Yep, that's a rule break. All right. Pug, you ready to replay it? So basically in that situation, what we would do is if Evenstar wins, it would be, obviously it doesn't count, but if Puggington had beaten his broken army, then he would have gotten the win. So, hold up, replay. Stay here. All right, we get another. You guys want some more of this shit? Oh, God. It's a good thing I noticed that shit. I was like, okay, something looks a little fishy here. We could do, Puggington? Dude, Pug, you're my hero, man, for at least now you've had an opportunity to experience all that there is to come. The Ash Plains, I can't remember if that's a good map. Let's do like Storm Demon or something. I think like going for like an Air Force control with a Mortis engine would be really strong. All right. You're ready for more torture. God, I can't believe of all the factions we have, we got a Vampire count mirror. This just makes me so sad. All right, so let's go ahead and do the Spirit Essence of Chaos again. We'll do the same map. Let's replay it as it was, and then I guess if it goes to game 3, we can do another one. The Essence of Chaos. It's the Essence of Chaos. My body is ready for more. Puggington, you're a hero, man. Golden tributes. No, this will be fine. All right, let's get the wolf up. So here we go once more. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Jonathan. Despite skilled is punishment. Oh my god, skilled. I don't want to punish Puggington too though, because he didn't break a rule. Killed in tributes. This is what Undeath is like. You could go Vlad if you don't want to get sniped and just like when they use their breath attacks, just pop Von Karstein ring. But honestly, probably going for like Von Karstein Air Force with a Mortis engine on the ground would be strong too. I don't know. Oh my god. The toll must be paid. No, not the same armies now. We'll let him rebuild. It's fine. I mean, like, yeah, he had his win taken away. So, you know, that I don't know how different that would have turned out if he. I think it honestly would have had the same outcome with because Manfred just died to the gooses. It wasn't like, but it could have been different, you know, because you can't have like the Necromancer and all those things, you know. Oh, I know, Gojira. It's dude, those were some strange times, man. Why can't Vampire Counts use missile units, says Jan? Well, because they don't have any in their roster, except in campaign. But in multiplayer, they don't have any, so they don't have any choice. So in tournaments, you're only allowed to have a total of 5 single entities. That includes monsters and heroes. So he had 6. He had a Necromancer, a Vampire, a Lord, 2 Gooses, and a Mortis Engine. Yeah. Make them play and fast forward. All right, let's see if the Pug can bring it back on the Essence of Chaos. Oh my god. Can they auto-resolve this battle? That's my favorite comment. Can we get an auto-resolve here? Can one of you guys at least play a sub-faction? Well, I guess that gives away your Lord choice. You need to get the unit testing map for this one, the pit. Just the entire map is a 40-meter radius. Oh my god. Hey, Timon, Safian, no worries, man. I completely understand. They can build armies and let the AI play them. That would, you know, I actually thought about having that as a tournament. Oh, that's a great idea. So, I remember thinking of that a long time ago, and then it just ebbed out of my mind, and then you reminded me. So yeah, players submit armies, and the AI controls them. And it would be like a 4-person tournament, and their AIs would fight for them. So I would just like set up the AI armies based on their specifications. I would have them saved. And then the AI duels. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Looks like Puggington. I don't know what he's up to here. We'll find out. Yeah, Optimus Prime, it would appear so. That was good, man. That was good. Incoming the most flaccid fight in the history of Total War Warhammer. I know. God, Vampire Counts. This is why they have a reputation, you know? Like Lord sniping and single entity just gooning. It's like, oh. AI tournaments? Yeah, that would be pretty funny. You did it a few times? Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I'll give it a try. Maybe sometime this week I'll just like get some builds. I'm sure Puggington is super excited to have to play more. Hot dog FFA AI duel. So if my AI loses, I have to eat a hot dog. So if I were building an AI army, I'd probably just go like really, like I wouldn't mess. Skirmish Cav, yeah, probably mass like Wood Elves with like a ton of like Skirmish Cav and like, no, because they just send the Cav to their doom. Probably just Wood Elves with like mass like Way Watchers, Deepwood Scouts, because they'll like just kite with all of them. It'd be super annoying. It's been done before, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think would be the best AI controlled armies? Probably like a Wood Elf like annoying kite army, yeah. Like Glade Riders and like all that kind of shit. Oh yeah, look, both players. Oh man, you guys are in for a treat here. Let's see who gets the better Air Force fight. So now both players are like, screw this shit. Reginald got a Lamian Lord. He's got a Vampire of Death, Fellbats, Devils, and a Goose. And now for Evenstar. So Evenstar has double Goose. So Evenstar's Air Force is a little bit... No, that's not necessarily true because the Lamian Vampire Lord's on a dragon. So it's like there's 2 dragons, basically, Gooses. There's a Vargulf to a Vargulf. But then the 2 vampire characters here do make a little bit of a difference. Lamian Vampire Lord versus Blood Dragon Lord. Okay. Interesting. just a little bit light on the Air Force here, I guess. Oh, there is a vampire character. Oh, never mind. Okay, it's like pretty much dead even. Yeah, so look at this. We have Lamian and Goose versus Goose and Goose. We have Vampire versus Vampire, and then we have Fellbat versus Fellbat. It's like more or less in terms of quality in the air, it's like the same. Yeah. You had the Greenskins winning twice in your AI tournament, says the Viking. Yeah, Bloated Corpse would be great here. Just like bunker busting these, yeah, and we got Mortis Engine, Corpse Cart. Yeah, looks like 5 single entities here in this army. Let's go ahead and check Evenstars. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, I don't think Corpse Cards count as single entities, so unless they have a Necromancer on them. Yeah, so he just has a Balefire one, which is fine. Good luck, have fun. All right, let's see another hotly contested battle here. Yeah, the Dowie Mirror is definitely better than this, because with the Dowie Mirror you get like some cool powder play, and it's kind of like watching like an older Total War title, you know, with guns and like some, you know, cannons and things like that. The multiplayer community is pretty solid in this game. We have an awesome community of people. All right, so it looks like the Spirit Leeching has begun. Evenstar is going to be the first recipient this time. Looks like the tide has turned. And honestly, that Lamian Vampire Lord might want to just attack that Blood Dragon Lord. Looks like there's going to be some Goose Breath attacks, which kills one. Nothing to write home about. Dragon needs to make sure to pull itself in and get ready for combat here. Vargeist, honestly, Vargeist attacking the Goose isn't bad. They have great AP now, so I don't think that'd be a bad trade. Honestly, I would just get in there and fight. And yeah, now they're attacking. So over here we have the other fight as well. Looks like the Fellbats of Pug are going down to the swarming Air Force here. However, one Terrorgeist is in big trouble. You can see the Lamian Vampire Lord plus the Devils of Schwarzhofen have seduced apparently a Terrorgeist. Don't ask me how that works. And looks like both players are just gooning the other one's Terrorgeist, which is really funny. Whoever's Terrorgeist is able to survive certainly will be in better shape. So this Goose just needs to run, because right now Puggington has the better surround on Evenstar's Goose, and this Goose is in big trouble, -37. Might be able to get away here, it looks like it will. Probably pulling this Goose in to head this guy off would be really, really strong. And it looks like now Evenstar's Air Force appears to be losing this, as here comes the Goose of Puggington, and the two Air Forces are going to be colliding. Now, this is going to be interesting. We have the two Mortis Engine boxes. Check this out. Just look at the Mortis Engine boxes. This is such shit. Oh my god. Alright, so I don't really know what's happening. Looks like this Goose is still crumbling for Evenstar, which is really, really valuable here for the Lamian Lord. The Goose for Puggington seems to be in a little bit better shape. It looks like it's going to be going over and trying to finish off the other one, while the Lamian Vampire Lord's a little bit trapped up here. The Vampire of Death for Pug is chasing down the Terrorgeist of Evenstar, and the Mortis Engine blobs are just rubbing their sausages together here on the ground. And it looks like the Goose for Pug is going to be landing, which is a good play. Gets it a little bit out of harm's way, and yeah, the Air Force duel continues. Here we have the Lamian Lord going after the Devils, and the Vampire of Death here for Pug in a little bit of trouble. It seems like Evenstar's maybe taken over the Air Force fight to an extent. A little bit hard to say. Ouch, big breath attack coming in there from Evenstar, able to nail the Goose on the ground, and the Lamian Vampire Lord having a hard time trading up in the sky. So what looked to be initially a better trade for Puggington up in the sky has rapidly gone to Evenstar's Air Force. And yeah, we just got the sausages rubbing together here on the ground. And it looks like a pretty decisive victory for Evenstar up in the sky. So at this point, Puggington's going to go on the ground and just, you know, play his numbers down there. Scepter of Instability, give some magic resist, although I don't know if there's any really substantial magic damage here. Hard to say. I think that's going to be GG. You know, had Puggington brought a Von Karstein Lord, I'm pretty sure he would have won that Air Force fight pretty handedly. But this time he went with the Lamian Lord and wasn't quite able to do the trick. Evenstar pulling up in the sky, getting that Blood Dragon Vampire Lord ready to go. And yeah, the fight is on, man. Here we go. The Mortis Engines are grinding. It looks like Puggington's Mortis Engine is also losing on the ground, considering he doesn't have the support he had before. Lamian Lord could try and turn and fight here and maybe pull in the support of this Vampire of Death. It looks like the Geists, too, the Vargeists of Pug may have gone down in a bit of a precarious situation for sure. And yeah, this is just the worst thing I've ever seen. And this is why I don't like mirror matches. Although, really, like I was saying, if I was a really good vampire player, I might actually consider picking vampires against people's vampires. Like, if you get really comfortable in these duels, and it seems that Evenstar is quite practiced in this matchup. Like, he seems to have maybe have practiced it before or played it with some of his clanmates, who knows. Whereas Pug was saying he has never played this before, so, you know, to each their own here. All right, so the battle continues to rage on. Nice breath attack. The Goose breath attacks have been the big difference. They've been so strong. The Mortis Engine is now dead for Puggington, and that is going to be the official death knell. And GG! Vampire counts win it! Oh, there, you vampire counts can celebrate. The great you meant. Yeah, there's a certain fun to it. Like, so, I mean, the absurdity, but, like, I know the players aren't having fun playing this. And, I mean, yeah. Yeah. Lawmaid Lord gets back in the sky, though. Maybe there's going to be a big breath attack of some sort. Could do an overhead breath on, like, the Mortis engine. That'd be really strong. But, like, Evenstar has, like, all of his Gooses alive. His Lord is alive. I think his Deathcaster is still alive, too. It was really close, though. Pug almost got them early. He almost did. He almost did, indeed. And there goes the Deathcaster. Puggington scrapping to the bitter end like a true patriot. And down goes the Vampire of Death. All of disintegrating due to army losses, yeah, right here on this guy. GG! That's it. The tournament's over. A victory goes to the Vampire Counts. And I will see you guys back relatively soon. We'll have another one of these on Sunday, and I'm sure it's going to be fun to see like all these people going anti-undead factions. We're probably going to see a bunch of high elves and dwarves appearing out of the shadows to stop the Vampire Counts on Sunday. Oh my god. GG. You know, I thought Pug was going to win that in the beginning. I guess when his devils kind of got isolated and his air force got disconjointed, that was it. Mortis engines rubbing their sausages together, always fun. 1700 and 1300. And that's it. All right. GG's. Sorry about Mirror. What are the odds out of 92 players? Oh, man. Who put the evil on there? Who put it on here? So, guys, if we take a look at the browser, so let's go ahead and get out of here for now. All right, it's cool. Let's go back here. And now we can go to the browser, so let's pull this up. Let's take a look at our journey so far. You guys want an FFA with all vampires? Is that what I'm hearing? No, we're actually done. I'm going to go do some stuff with Lady Turin, so I got to run. But let's go ahead and update the score and make it official. Go to the browser. Hiya! Evenstar will win. 2-0. You feel like the life has been drained out of you? I know. It's a very fast tournament, though, which is the upside of it. Like, most community tournaments go for, like, 6 hours, but this one was, like, literally, 2 to get to the top 8. Maybe an hour and a half. So, if we look at Evenstar's journey. So, Evenstar fought Greenskins. He fought Greenskins again. Then he beat Wood Elves. Then he beat Dwarves, which is certainly good. And he beat Tomb Kings, and he beat, yeah, that was his first one. So, yeah, not, like, the easiest matchups in the world, but, you know, the Greenskin ones are certainly not bad. Puggington beat Wood Elves. He beat Vampire Coast, certainly beating Anticity is a very big accomplishment. He beat Prussian Prince's Bretonia, also very strong. He beat Skaven, and then he beat the Bloody Hands earlier for Zutron Smith. Pretty cool. Pug, man, hold your head up high. There was, you know, the Vampire Count Mirror match. Like, who the hell knows how to play that? And you still put up a valiant fight. Hey, I enjoyed it, man. I hope to see you in next time. I'm curious if you're going to play Vampire Counts again after running into them. But yeah, it was a fun tournament, man. Really, really good one. I mean, a lot of people hopefully had fun playing this. I think it's one of my favorite formats, is like the best of one, because it's like a short commitment, doesn't take all day. If you lose one, you're out. Hey, that's it, right? You don't really get dragged through the mud and like play like 3 best of 3s and then just get wrecked. And like after all that effort you put in. Granted, I do think traditional tournaments are still more competitive, obviously, and are going to be the more staple of the channel. I think we'll try and do some more of these. So that is it for today. Congratulations to the dreaded Vampire Counts. I will be back with a stream on Friday. We're going to be doing our ECL on Friday, actually. Not Saturday, because I'm going to be out of town on Saturday. So ECL is going to take place on Friday, and then on Sunday, we're going to have another one of these, which should be quite a bit of fun. So that's that. It's a really fun tournament format, for sure. It's just, you know, sometimes you can run into mirror matches, and that's that. So... all right, guys, thank you for joining. We'll be back on Friday with the ECL. I'm going to have signups for that going up soon. And on Sunday, we'll have another one of these, an open faction war. So if you guys want to practice your factions or learn some new factions, it's a good opportunity to get some reps in there and play. So, and yeah, thanks again to Samuel Christensen, Lich109, Flying Potato, Death Bean, Faust, Death Bean, Joe Leonard, Peyton Bowers, Lost Sight Dev, Hawken, and 2 new members in Protocol and V4LZU. For the generous donations in ENS to close things out. Thank you guys for joining. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. I certainly did. It was, you know, you don't see that often. So getting it out of the way like once a year to see is always good. And that was the last match. As it's an open faction war, we don't have 16 games. We only have, you know, it's the top 8. So usually the streams are a little bit shorter, like 2.5 hours instead of 4. Regular faction wars go like 4 hours. So yeah, pretty serious stuff. All right, guys, thank you for joining. Well played. We will see you guys on the other side, and you guys stay safe and take care. Cheers, my friends.